Welcome aboard.
But enough of this palaver. Let's get the show on the road.
Yeah. Good morning.
Hi.
Just watching some old videos. When times were good. They're still good, but talking about all the bits we used to do.
Over at the other building, the XM building, as opposed to the Sirius building.
When we, I think we could all admit, we're happier.
Yeah, it was just nicer.
It was just a nice place to be. We had our own
alone.
space, our own studio.
A lot of space.
Fans coming by every day.
Yeah.
That kept us motivated, brought an energy with them. We could feed off their energy and do bits with them. And then we were low enough to the sidewalk where we could go outside and do all sorts of events.
Yeah.
We're looking at sidewalk fishing in New York City. Basically, we had a whole office full of sex toys and porno and
swag and
all sorts of porno-type swag.
Yes.
And then we would just drop it on the sidewalk. And then we would broadcast and film people as they're walking by to see who was brave enough to get a little free gift. Classic. Just dropping dildos and what's not on the sidewalk.
And leaving them there for whoever wanted to come by.
And we would just howl when someone finally would, make the move and pick it up.
Yeah.
And then we would drop more stuff on the sidewalk.
Sidewalk fishing.
Sidewalk fishing.
And then Box of Cocks.
Box of Cocks is one of the best bits we've ever
it was
done.
Funny as fuck. We took a box and then just put hardcore gay porno images inside the box all over.
A lot of hard penises.
Yeah, lined the inside of the box with them.
It was a montage.
And then
not
in the middle.
A decoupage.
A decoupage. And then in the middle, we just had a giant dildo, big cock dildo.
Yeah. Oh, there's the box.
In the box. There it is. And then on the outside of the box was written "Free Puppies." And we just left it on the sidewalk for people to pass by and go, why are they... Oh, that's terrible. A box of free puppies in the middle of the sidewalk in New York City. And they would open the box up to see the free puppies and if they were okay and be met with a gaze of a lot of hard, rigid, turgid cock.
Now, if we tried this bit today, because I'm looking at the date, 2007, 5 years ago.
5 years.
The NYPD would have blocks shut down if
my
they saw
God,
a box that said free puppies on it.
Yeah.
They would shut down this city.
Oh, boy. Oh, no.
Oh, boy. All right.
I was going to do police radio sound.
Batteries.
Voice. Police radio voice.
We need batteries. How do we get batteries done? Do we have to ask E-Rock to ask the interns?
Well.
Yes, fax E-Rock and see if you can send an email to the intern.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're not allowed to do anything with interns. I told these guys a tradition that has been around for probably 50 years, where you hire interns and you beat the shit out of them. And sometimes you would actually beat the shit out of them for good radio. This place shut down that activity.
We're not allowed when they come in to go, hey.
Yeah, we're not allowed to do anything with interns anymore.
We can still do that.
Be nice.
We can say good morning. How are you? Mm-hmm. We can have a good time with them.
I needed a little something from an intern. I just did it myself because I'm like, I don't even know what that would mean if I asked the guy.
What's the protocol?
Yeah, that was smart on their part.
Be nice. Be nice.
A 50-year tradition has been shut down. You're not allowed to do anything with interns. There's no reason for them to be here.
No, really.
I mean, good luck to them and all. I hope they learn a thing or two.
Think about it.
But there's no reason to have them anymore.
Yeah.
We get our own shit. Who cares? But the box of cocks, there it is. People are looking at
all these
it.
insensitive people who just walk right by a box of free puppies.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
Maybe they knew there were cocks in it.
You think they've seen this before?
Yes, they've seen the box of cocks pit.
Yeah.
Won't be fooled again.
Oh.
Well,
Fool me once.
you certainly can't do that anymore. Who's that?
Hey, who's this?
Who's this guy?
That's Uncle Kevy.
I know who it is. Don't talk
been
to
around
him.
for a while?
Yeah,
Don't talk to him.
He's the
Management.
dumb one.
Get us.
Is he dumb?
He's
Oh,
dumb.
man.
We might take it a little
look,
too
he doesn't,
far.
Oh, he doesn't know where it is. Oh, Travis. Oh, Travis doesn't know.
Travis.
Oh, no. How many batteries does that take? That's crazy.
That is a lot of batteries.
8 batteries.
Saving them?
8 double A's. Yeah, I know. Once you touch your tongue to each one, you can reuse it. Fucking.
Are you a
Shove up
battery
your
saver?
Your anal opening.
You're a battery saver. For what
Why?
reason?
Because I'm not a millionaire.
So what do you do with the batteries?
These aren't luxury items. These aren't fucking fine antiques. They're dead batteries. What are you gonna build a fucking
and I love
build furniture out of them?
And I love how
regular
people,
guy.
I love how people just throw it back in our face. When I had no money, I didn't save batteries.
No, you know what?
People don't save batteries ever.
Batteries.
I don't necessarily save batteries, but like
dead.
I'll always rearrange them first before.
What is that
your
gonna-
asshole?
You know, that
gives you a little more
might
juice.
that might work for like
A little bit.
minute.
Right.
Yeah, maybe I just need a minute.
Do you
Oh.
recharge your batteries?
I don't
Growing
have
up,
any.
we used to recharge our batteries.
No.
I do remember that, but
We didn't have battery rechargers when I was a child.
Really?
We had those Rayovac batteries that were actually wrapped in cardboard. Remember the batteries that used to leak all the time? They'd get like wet and ruin your toy. They were literally wrapped in cardboard.
oh, I sort of
It
remember
was like
that.
a swirly
Yeah, yeah.
cardboardy thing with the label on it and everything. But if it would go
Yeah.
bad, it would get like moist,
Mushy.
and crystally and stuff. But
Yeah.
then they started lining them in like fucking.
When was the
metal.
last time you used the word corrosion?
Corrosion?
Our batteries are corroding.
It's the only time you use it, unless as a kid that was a rank out.
A
You're
rank
like,
out.
You're like, oh, she's corroded.
Oh, yeah.
She's corroded. You're corroded. That's hilarious. Why would you say someone's corroded?
Because we're all assholes.
Ew, don't fucking touch her. She's corroded.
We're all assholes.
That meant AIDS. That was kid AIDS if they were corroded. Corroded.
Yeah. Intern Craig loves candy. I don't even know what this one is.
We made Craig, it was like the day after Halloween.
Right.
And Craig said he loved candy.
Ah.
So he had to spend the entire show sitting on the couch eating trick-or-treat candy.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, like pounds and pounds and
You
pounds.
think we're allowed to do that nowadays? We can't even have an intern eat candy?
I don't think you could have a staff member eat that much candy.
No.
No, because one woman died in a contest drinking water.
Right.
So nobody on the radio can drink water ever.
Yep. That's how it goes.
Look how big that bin of candy
That is how things happen, though. One thing happens, we got to shut it down for everybody.
That's in the news right now. As a
What
matter
site?
of fact. Yeah.
Daily Motion. That's where we ended up putting a lot of our videos because they were
YouTube
getting
kept
taken
pulling
down
them.
from YouTube.
Oh, right.
Oh, that's the main.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, like if you go to
I see.
dailymotion.com, you'll find a lot of Opie and Anthony videos that you won't
Daily
find.
Motion
And
is,
some logos.
I got a few on Daily Motion because they're cooler than YouTube.
Yeah.
YouTube gets just so panicky all the time over dumb stuff. There's Craig just eating candy. Whatever. So we're
Fast
just.
motion.
I don't even. Why? Oh, because of the Steve C tribute. Sam noticed that the show sounded different
Yeah, it's
when we first got back to XM.
Yeah.
It wasn't better or worse. It just sounded different, is what you're saying.
Yeah, it sounded very different when you got back to XM. And I said you were also. I felt like in the early days, like of making fun of Steve's car and you know naming him Martini Steve and stuff.
Right.
There was a more. It sounded a little more free to make fun of people. You guys didn't seem to be worried too much about, you know.
Well, when you're beaten down like we have
Yeah.
been in this place for a few years, you just stop doing those things.
We
You,
kept it fun, right?
yeah,
Maybe
we had
you
a
were
big
also-
studio with a studio audience, and we were on our own over there. It was good. It was nice.
real good. But
Maybe
they,
you were also happy to be back. It was early on.
well, they said, trust us. You know, this is the place to be over here in this building.
Isn't this great?
Even though we,
That's the place to be.
even though we worked our whole careers to have our own setup, designed our own studio, bleachers, everything.
Oh, it was
That
fantastic.
studio is great.
But they're like, trust us. This is where you want to be.
No, you want to be here in a cubicle that looks like every other studio and
Yep.
watch management walk around the hallways. And,
I don't see them walking around these days.
Well, at
I don't
the
know
end
what
of the
that's
show.
about. Oh, at the end of the show, yeah.
yeah, they love the
Those
end of
clowns.
the show meeting. Like, oh, we just happen to be walking down here.
Why is Craig puking?
He's projectile vomiting peanut butter cups.
We're not allowed to do that anymore.
Oh,
huh?
my God, no.
think so.
No, that stinks.
Never.
Might not have
too
been
bad.
allowed to do that then.
We knew our own line back
Yeah.
then. There was always the company line and then our line.
No.
And our company line, our line moved a little further than the company line. But everyone
Yeah.
was cool with it. We all kind of had an understanding. Now they come running down the hall if we're scolding an intern.
Oh, is he vomiting?
A lot. The Steve C special was great, by the way.
I know, I heard.
People
I couldn't
loved it.
listen.
It was really good.
I wanted to listen, I just couldn't listen.
People loved it.
But the feedback was amazing.
Oh,
on
God,
it.
is he puking?
It's cranky, bruh.
And $50,000 for Steve C's family, Rock? Just about?
Pretty righteous.
We're
just under 50,000.
That's great.
Nice.
Thank you. Send me the link. I'll retweet it.
Sure.
Thank you for everyone who donated. That's wonderful. Something positive. All right. Don Imus is 72 today.
Oh. Yeah, I'm 72 years old today. 72 years old. Oh, man, Georgie.
72. Wow. All right. How was everyone's weekend?
Oh, wonderful.
You know
what
what?
a nice weekend. It was nice weather.
You know, I told you before the show, I turned off the Colorado shooting coverage.
Oh.
And I realized that there was a nice, bright, sunny world out there where the birds were chirping and the waves were crashing.
Oh, beautiful, right?
It was just so nice.
Yeah.
I think we kill ourselves sitting in front of the TV and just, trying to consume as much sadness as possible when these tragedies hit.
Well, the
And then the
24-hour
news tries-
news and everything, you can't get away from it.
And then you already have a level of sadness, but then the media is like, no, I think we could get it even worse.
I think we push the sadness thing up a little bit.
Yeah, now we're going to just talk about each individual victim.
Yeah.
And this is really going to hurt. This is really going to hurt your heartstrings. I understand what happened. It was a horrendous tragedy.
Yeah.
Horrendous. I know all the basic facts of it, but I chose not to do what I usually do and just sit and watch every single minute of it.
I would turn on the news, and if they weren't talking about something new, I knew there was nothing new, even though I just turned it on, because they would be pounding the shit out of that.
Right.
But they were just reiterating everything people knew.
But they trick you, and they go, well, coming up.
Yeah, but
we got new.
I know that trick.
And then you sit there and you go, you don't got new. You told me you got new, but it's the same new.
So I turned that off. I'll turn something else on. Fuck that.
Yeah.
And
obviously horrendous, horrible.
Yeah, no one.
And everyone's debating how do we solve this. You know how you solve this?
Yeah.
You realize that we're animals.
Yeah.
And you take this fucking asshole out back and you shoot him in the head.
Oh, that would be great.
And guess what? The next asshole coward might think twice about this. Instead of throwing him through our judicial, but it's America. Fuck all that right now.
And he knows that he's going to get in the news.
Pull him out of that jail cell, take him out back, and shoot him. And don't even do anything with his body. Just let it sit there.
Let him rot.
For real.
He did this just so he'd get this type of recognition and attention.
And they're giving him just what he wants.
And they give it to him.
Of course.
Not covering the story, not talking about the victims, but I mean, on the cover of the Post, his fucking red hair, referring to him as the Joker. It's like they literally are giving him exactly
what he
I'm
was
not talking
hoping
about don't cover it. They got to cover it. But the way they're doing it, focusing on him.
Don't call him Joker.
Madman, Joker's madhouse yesterday.
Yeah.
Exactly what he wants.
Right.
The press is doing.
Bravo to everybody who gave him what he wanted. I say you just shoot him in the back of the fucking head.
Yeah. Shoot him in the front of the head. Let him see it coming.
You're on the side.
In the face.
Whatever. I don't give a fuck. Just
shoot him in the face.
Get him off this earth.
Yeah.
I went for a nice walk yesterday. I walked for an hour down the West Side Highway. I thought of you because you would.
That's what I do.
Did you find a short pier? See?
What were you looking for that you were walking, or was it really
peace of mind?
I just woke up and I'm like, I just wanted to exercise, but I'm like, I wanted to just go for a walk.
It's nice down there.
Yeah, it was great. So I walked for an hour.
You don't feel like you're in New York City when you're walking.
No,
down
and
there.
you walk longer than I would. I walked longer than I would have done other
How far down did
for.
you get?
I did like 60 blocks, like total.
Wow,
Jesus.
Yeah.
Nice.
Good one.
You should get a bike.
Yeah, I thought of that too.
It's made for a bike, just going up and down the West Side like that. It's really nice.
Ooh, and then Jimmy Norton came over to my house on Saturday to watch the UFC fight, and Chip also came over, which is very odd when it's just me and Chip sitting on the couch.
Yeah, right.
It's very odd that Chip comes over and starts talking. I look around the room and go, there's no one else here.
Sometimes he needs to do something too. Sometimes with me, I just need to go somewhere and get away from Chip. So you got him for a while.
It's all fun and games, but then when you realize that Jim Norton's not in the room anymore, that's when it gets really
Chip.
creepy.
And you got to tell Chip, no, you wouldn't do that. You're lying. You're like, yeah, I would kick him. I would do the crane and then kick him in the face. It's like, what? No, you wouldn't do that, Chip. And I'm talking to Chip.
Of course.
It was fun, though.
There's no audience there. There's no other people.
Sometimes you just have to go with it and just go like, really?
Yeah.
And you go, yeah.
Yeah. And then, what an embarrassment. I was going to do a compound show on Saturday, but then I decide, Jimmy texted, and I'm like, yeah, Jimmy's come over. We'll watch the UFC fight and everything, so I didn't do it. But before, I was, I don't have to wear shoes because it's the compound show. I'm sitting down. So I just kind of put some socks on, and then I slid on these horrible, like, things, slipperish, deck shoeish, beachy looking shoe things.
I saw the picture.
And I just slipped them on over dress socks. And I was walking around in those, and then Jimmy came over, and I didn't even think about it. I'm sitting watching UFC.
Why were you wearing dress socks?
Well, I had them on.
You just like dress
earlier.
socks?
Yeah. But then I kicked my sneakers off, and then I put these things on. I kind of like the feel of a good dress sock.
You're wearing dress socks and sneakers?
I like
the feel. See, look.
I don't know why you like dress socks.
He likes going boating.
I like the feel of a good dress sock.
I hate that. They fall down.
No, they don't fall down.
On my calves, they do.
A good dress sock stays up, and the material's very thin and nice.
I need a nice athletic white cotton sock.
Too bulky, and they got that seam thing, and it's no. I need a good dress sock.
Dress socks get me sweating, and it activates the athlete's foot.
No, the big fucking athletic
really
sock is that. They don't call it dress sock foot.
Well, the
it's athletic socks. It's athlete's foot.
No, athletic socks soak up the moisture that will
that's
cause
good.
the
Hold it
athlete's foot.
against your fucking foot.
But I think they call them dress socks because generally you wear them with dress shoes and dress pants.
No, they're very
dresses.
I enjoy them much more than the big bulky white sock.
Do.
Yes,
I have two pairs of dress socks. That's it.
They have yellow toes.
I think
wow.
so. Yeah. And I only wear them maybe not even once a year at this point.
Well, I was wearing them, and I was wearing these other horrible shoey thing. And I kicked my feet up on the ottoman to watch UFC. And I'm just sitting there, and out of nowhere, I just hear this. And I look over, and Jimmy is now fidgeting with his phone and smiling. And I knew exactly what had happened there.
Gotcha.
He took a picture and tweeted it, and it's terrible. Terrible.
That happens. What are you going to do?
Yeah, he got me on that one. I don't understand how you don't enjoy a thinner sock.
No.
Everything's stuffed in a shoe. It just,
A thinner sock is nice, but I can't wear these. Like, I'm wearing dark socks. No, I'm not. I was wearing them yesterday, and they fall down.
Not the cheap black dress socks that everybody just has in their drawer to wear with...
Why are you defending this?
To wear with, because...
You realize we're right.
No, you're not.
You're panicking. You're panicking.
They get sweaty when I'm in a dress sock.
No, you got to have the right dress sock.
There's something uncomfortable about a dress sock unless you're going to a wedding.
It's not a dress. See, like that sock right there that I'm wearing. That's a good sock.
Is that cotton?
It's
got to be cotton.
It's got.
Oh my God! What are you in an '80s band? It's in an '80s band.
That's a horrible picture. But there's a texture to it on the inside. It's just very comfortable. It's not just that swath of thin black material dress sock. I'm not talking that.
Don't they make they make my calves itch if they're too tight?
Yes,
because
that's what I'm talking about.
They hug your calf. The one, I mean the good ones that you're talking about that don't fall down.
Yeah.
They hug your calf too tightly, and I don't like a strangled calf. I enjoy a comfortable. I like a nice fucking athletic tube sock.
Crisp new pair of white Hanes socks.
I won't totally go against the nice new white sock.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But on a daily basis, I got to go with a good dress sock.
You are a fancy man.
I try.
Well, what about the shoes, though? Could we all agree you should throw those away?
There's a problem.
Those are boating shoes.
Yes.
Why do you have boat shoes on?
I had those.
Yeah, exactly.
You're a hipster? You are a hipster.
I'm a hipster.
Hipsters wear boat shoes.
Boat shoes with dress socks. I'm ironic.
It is. It's irony.
Yeah. No, I had those for quite a while, and they were just sitting around, and I slid them on, lest I did not have to go upstairs to put on my sneaks, because I was just going to do a compound show. So why put on socks?
So you say,
shoes.
You say slip into something a little more comfortable, and you come down in boat shoes and dress socks.
They were downstairs. That's
were you
why
wearing
I
a smoking
put them on.
jacket with a pipe?
I was thinking about it.
Yeah.
But I decided not to.
Yeah, those shoes look so uncomfortable.
Boating shoes, dress socks, and, by the way, tactical pants.
Well, of course.
Of course.
All right, I dress like an idiot.
You don't wear the tactical socks, though.
No, I didn't have my 511 tactical socks.
Those seem to be a bit tight.
Those
Yeah?
They're athletic in nature, but they're a bit too snuggy for my taste. Yeah, I've tried
They are a little
They're not
snuggy.
bad.
Yeah, they are snuggy. If
They're
you want a
tight,
snug
though.
sock.
If you want to feel like your foot is being hugged all
That's
day,
true.
then those are the socks for you.
I don't like any sock with a design on it.
What do you
Unless
mean?
it's a couple stripes or
gotta be
something.
just
Well, everyone
white,
knows
right?
you're
Yeah.
fucking
Pure.
milquetoast fuddy-duddy with everything.
Do you
You
do,
don't like
do
everything.
you do a little color on your toes, though?
I'll put a little gray on the toe, sure.
I go gold.
Gray, maybe some red stitching.
A little gold, maybe a little gray, just on the toes.
I
That's
don't
it.
mind that.
Everything else white.
What about the heel?
The heel's got a little gray,
Gray
too.
on the
A
heel.
little bit.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
all right,
You
too.
gotta do
But
that.
no logos. I hate logos.
No, I don't like a logo sock.
I don't like logos on anything.
Remember the old white socks that had like the red and blue stripe
Oh,
around the
of
top?
course.
Those are like your
Yeah.
basic generic
I like
gym
when the
sock.
girls wear the socks all the way up, though. I'm a big fan of that.
Yeah.
Like, what is it now? Halfway up their thighs?
Yeah.
Socks all the way
Bobby
up.
Holy
socks.
fuck, are those socks sexy on the right broad.
Yeah.
Anyway,
True.
you didn't watch the British Open, huh?
No, not a second of it.
Even in your boat shoes and your dress
Boat
socks?
shoes, dress socks, tack pants.
He's watching
Did
the
not.
America's Cup race.
Adam Scott had quite the collapse, though, sir. And Ernie Els, an old timer there, 42 years old, wins the British Open out of nowhere. He made up, I think, 7 strokes on the final day. I think.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
that is crazy. I did hear about it, but I didn't watch any.
No.
There was a little chokage. There always seems to be chokage at the end of these tournaments. Somebody fucks up.
Well, Adam Scott doesn't deserve to win because he uses the giant putter.
Oh, he's got one of those big putters.
He's one of those giant putter guys.
Those giant putters. They look silly.
You don't deserve to win anything if you putt that way. That's his
No.
first mistake.
This is stupid.
He's one of, I think, maybe 2 to 3 guys at this point that use the giant putter. It looks stupid.
Is that the one you hold like
Way up. It's
way
under his
up
chin.
and it's under your chin. You
Pretty
go
much
like,
under his
bonk. Yeah, it looks
yeah.
so.
No, but you got to use your middle finger and your index finger like this on the bottom.
Oh, is that how he does
Oh,
it?
yeah.
Swings it like a pendulum.
He doesn't really hold, the bottom part of the
Yes.
putter. He just kind of directs it with those 2 fingers. It's stupid.
Sounds stupid.
But it was a good tournament for the golf fans out there. Whatever. Blah, blah, blah. I don't know what else to say about that.
It's
I
golf.
love how much Travis hates this couple. Who I'm the guy.
yes.
I think the couple who got engaged after the massacre. Now, like they're
Well, they have 2 kids.
Yeah, but I kind of hate them too.
You do hate
I'm
them.
glad they survived, but I hate the guy. I hate him.
He's Travis was talking about how much he despises this guy. Here comes Trav, and it's questionable as to what he did during the shooting. Was he more interested in self-preservation or heroics or what was going on there? Was he pulling
Costanza's his way out of it.
Costanza?
I think what goes on is your brain completely shuts down when mayhem is all around
Well,
you.
that's when people are separated into those categories of hero and being able to look at a situation, assess and react, and sheer panic. The fight or flight comes into play, and apparently this guy loves that flight part of the whole thing.
Because isn't your parental instinct supposed to come in?
Right,
Like, and you're
yes.
protecting your young.
Of course.
Like he was at the movies sitting. It wasn't like they were separated at the buying popcorn and he was inside. They were sitting together in the back of the theater. Him with his fiance and his chick and his 4-month-old and their 4-year-old.
Yeah. First of all, I just hate them for that.
Yeah.
For just bringing 2 kids that age.
But hold on. You've never brought your kid to anything?
To a
Sure,
midnight
I
movie.
have. But
I've seen kids at all sorts of shit, and as long as they're not acting up, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
Maybe
but
they
I
knew that the
wouldn't-
kid would sleep through the whole fucking thing.
I wouldn't take that chance as somebody who hates other parents that do that. Like
hold on. I brought my kid to because I saw this all over Facebook and I laugh at these idiots because they have no clue. I've brought my very young son to movies, restaurants, and whatnot.
Sure.
And if he does act up, guess what? I'm out of there.
I
Period.
don't think they would have been out of there
I've never had
a
that
midnight screening.
We've been lucky. He didn't act up. So
would you have
lucky.
brought your 4-month-old though to the Dark Knight Rises?
Probably
at midnight?
At midnight?
Probably, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
if I knew he was
terrible.
going to, because they sleep 18 hours a day, so probably. I would have had him in a thing in front, and he would have probably slept through the whole movie. But I would have picked a seat close to the aisle or whatever, and if he acted up, I'm out of there. Period. You would hear you would hear maybe one quick cry, and you would hear the door closing. I'd be out of there.
You're in a small minority. Most people are not that giving. Most people, when their kid cries, are
well, they're assholes.
Some of them are.
Yeah, that's the difference.
But this is a midnight movie. This isn't like a kid's movie. This is a fucking adult movie.
Yeah, I don't know. It just like this isn't like you're taking your kid to like a Saturday matinee. Like this just seems so selfish that like, oh, they had to go to the midnight
Well, their
screening.
thought is they have no family and they don't make a lot of money.
Movie tickets cost the same every day, every show.
That's what they're saying. That's
No,
all.
I'm just.
I still hate them.
Yeah.
All I'm doing is giving you the other side. Of course you should.
Oh, I hear you.
If that's how you feel.
I've
I
done
don't care.
plenty of stuff
I'm
with,
just saying,
with my daughter because I know how she's going to act.
Right.
And maybe
especially when they're
they
first
decided to
born,
do the
all
same
they do
thing.
is sleep, and they sleep through everything. At first,
But I'm not entirely sure that a 4-year-old should be watching.
Well, the
that movie
4-year-old,
either.
that's a whole different argument.
I mean,
Because
my kid's 3, and I certainly wouldn't let her watch The Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah, I think that's where I'm in agreement with you guys. A 4-year-old is a completely different animal.
Yeah.
They're aware of
selfish.
everything at 4.
They were just being selfish. I mean, people sometimes want to do what they want to do, and they, whatever. The
Do you
midnight
think the guy was a little more selfish than the girl?
Oh my! That's why. That's
the girl is a
all
hero,
you
right?
need. She did what a mother should do. She protected her kids.
So, someone's instincts kicked in, the others didn't. The guy who fucking lost wherever his infant was, and then just decided to leave the theater and not go back in.
And I'm not playing phony brave. Believe me, I'm a coward. But I also don't have children. Like you're supposed to have parental instincts and nature. Like there's nothing more. Of course, the mother wouldn't leave. That's why they get them in custody cases. By the way, if anybody's wondering why women win all custody, it's for this reason. It's because their instincts to protect their young. There's no way the mother would leave the kids.
Oh, what's going on there with that couple? Okay.
White, black.
Is that what it is? Yeah.
Maybe a little Hispanic. There's something a little brownish. I'm not sure.
Yeah, she
He's a
looks
black
little
guy.
Hispanic.
She's
Colorado theater shooting.
She looks like she plucks her eyebrows out and then draws them in with a pencil. That could be a Hispanic.
Engaged hours after surviving tragedy. That's
them.
No,
That
that's a
doesn't look like
different
them.
couple.
Oh, okay.
Who is that?
That's a different couple, man.
That's
than the one
definitely
you're
not the
talking
couple.
about
couple
right
I'm
now.
thinking about is a white
Another
couple.
one got engaged.
Yeah. Sam.
I just put in
What did
Batman
you do? Sam doesn't
engaged.
see color.
Hold on, what's
He
their
just
name?
saw a couple.
No, I
He
know.
just saw a couple. That's very
How
noble.
about Legretta?
That's their name.
Oh wow, that's them.
Legretta.
Then somebody else showed the wrong people.
No, it's not
Yeah, I
them.
saw a different
That's
picture.
Patricia
That's not.
Legretta.
But they're not the ones with the 4-month and the 4-year-old. The other two were all over the place. The
Legretta
other
and
two
her
are
daughter,
both Hispanic.
the couple's son Ethan. That might be them. Maybe there was maybe you're looking at a different picture. Maybe they put a wrong picture in the paper for that couple.
It says
What's his name?
Legretta and 19-year-old Jarrell
The
Brooks.
story you guys are saying
Oh,
about
no.
No, Roars.
Thank
This
you.
is this guy saved her.
Oh, that guy. So that's the guy that saved her.
Yeah.
The black
So there's
dude
not
saved
even a
her.
after her
picture with her
fiance-
fiance.
No.
After the fiance tooled out of there.
No, there's no reason there should be a
So
picture
they
of him.
think those two are the couple.
Well, you
I
know
think
what?
the media fucked it up.
It kind of shows right there that definitely makes me think that they're getting engaged.
Yeah,
you don't have a
wouldn't you?
headline that says Colorado theater shooting victim engaged, then a man and a woman.
I thought that.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Wait, what are you saying?
No,
I'm saying that
These two are not getting
they're not
engaged.
getting
Makes
married.
it look
but
like
it makes
that.
it look like that.
But these
make
two
it
were
look
interviewed for whatever reason, and then I
Yeah.
think the media heard, engaged, and went with this picture,
No.
not knowing the,
Well, because he
the
saved,
real guy.
He saved her, and GMA reunited the two of them.
He saved her and her daughter while that fucking cocksucker boyfriend of
Oh
hers
man.
left his kid there.
Yeah, but you know what? To his credit, he kept calling her cell phone.
Oh, that's cool.
Hey, there you go. See.
He lost track of his
Nice.
infant son. That does not
Wow.
sound like a man who would have walked outside if the kid was crying. What a piece of shit.
And that's why, like, I totally get what you're saying, Ope. Like, I've taken my daughter to stuff, because I know how she's going to act. But, like, this guy just gives me the sense that he wouldn't have left like you or I would have.
Well,
you know,
unless he's in danger.
But I heard,
unless
did he jump off something? I heard he put the kid down and jumped, thinking that that was the best chance the kid had.
I have no idea.
What?
I haven't read that.
I would have went back in the theater, but
I wouldn't have left the theater.
You don't leave your.
But you don't
fucking
even know.
kid.
I mean, you got a guy, a fucking maniac. Who knows what is going on?
Is it
People
your
are-
instinct to fall on your baby?
Your instinct is to protect your
Of
kid,
course.
I
Fall
would
on
gather.
your kid?
Even if I did leave, yeah, I would have gone back in. Once you realize that, oh, okay, they're not out here.
I've
Let me
said,
go back in.
I said a few months ago, when you become a father, you realize that you would actually absolutely give up your life for your kid.
Oh yeah. I mean, there were boyfriends who took bullets for their girlfriends
Right.
here, and this guy's running away from his kids.
Jeez.
I wouldn't fault the guy who left his girlfriend. Like I could see myself doing that.
All I'm saying is I think you're breaking it down to the basics. I would like to know more details about what was going on there.
He hightailed it out of
He
there.
hightailed it out of there.
You think that's all
He
it was?
hightailed it the fuck out, man.
You saw smoke, and he ran out of that kitchen.
And that's why he
He
said
ran out of there
marry
like
me.
a cartoon character.
Oh, plowing over children, women, and walkers.
That's why he wants to marry her. He feels guilty.
Yes.
He feels guilty
Yes.
about the cowardly. And again,
Well-
I'm not phony brave, but I don't have fucking infant children to look
Well,
after.
get the interview because he goes through moment by moment what he was doing. I think it was on Anderson Cooper, if you can find it.
Then I got some juji fruits.
He's like the fucking guy in the Saving Private Ryan. I just stood on the stairs while his friend was being stabbed upstairs.
Because his
A big
account of what
Nazi.
happened was chilling, to be honest with you.
Yeah, look,
Yeah.
like,
Chilling.
His name is.
I've never been in that exact situation, but
But I could see leaving a woman, another adult. I could see doing that.
I don't know.
But an infant? You have a fucking 4-month-old infant and you leave it in the theater?
He throws the kid at the
That's not
fucking
the one.
gunman,
That's not
try
the
to
one.
distract him.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
That's not the one. That's not the one.
Anybody get a Than
That's not the
vibe from the
one.
guy when you first see him? Did you? Yeah,
You mean
the
the-
gunman.
Oh, the gunman.
You get like the second you look real quick, you're like the first thing I thought was, oh god, he kind of looks like Than.
Wow, they don't have the interview. It's chilling. It really was chilling. Maybe
See if
it
you can
wasn't
Google
Anderson
him,
Cooper.
Sam, his name is
Maybe it was Piers. It might have been that dope.
Jamie
Piers.
Moores, R-O-H-R-S
I think it was Piers.
interview.
Piers.
I think it was actually Piers Morgan. I think he got that one.
Did
I'm
Piers
sure
ask him, why did you leave your son in the...
It is. It's about 4 to 5 minutes.
I'm sure he tried to make it sound like he was.
I don't know.
How do you run away and leave them
Here
there?
it is. This is it right here.
All right.
This is the
Let's hear.
couple we're talking about.
I find myself just standing and just my son's on the floor and I'm looking around and like I see the balcony because the shots had stopped for a second and I look over to see if I can jump over because I'm on top of the balcony and I'm contemplating in my head like can I jump and can I jump with Ethan without him breaking his neck or me landing on him and like as I turn to like find Ethan in the dark of the theater with the gas, like I'm just so disoriented and I lose him. I just lose him and
Oh boy.
then he opened fire again and I'm like, you gotta get Ethan, you gotta get Ethan. So I'm trying. I'm like,
Can you
gotta
pause
run
that real
back,
quick?
gotta run,
Can you look at
find
her
Ethan.
face?
Oh,
Look at the
man.
fucking face on that.
Yes.
Look at her. There's not an ounce of a loving look.
No.
She is pissed, right?
She fucking knows.
She's looking down. There's no emotion on her face. Like he's and
He left her in the theater
Yes.
to be shot.
He ditched
pissed
her.
on you.
And the kid. He left the fucking baby to be
Oh,
shot.
man.
Which probably will never get over this.
No.
do you think that'll come up in arguments later on in life?
Oh, yes.
I would bring it up. I don't even know him. I'm going to bring it up with whoever I'm dating.
He'll never be allowed to go anywhere with that kid again.
Oh, man.
Dude, listening to this, she was right there with him. Why would you need to jump instead of just laying over your fucking son?
Oh, man. Yeah, just get on the ground.
You picture your
Hope for the
father
best.
fucking running out of a room that there's a shooting in and leaving you there?
Oh, man.
What a fucking cock. This guy sucks.
Wow. Yeah, look.
again.
You're right. Her face.
She is fucking, literally, she'd be happier if he was describing how he got blown in the lobby.
I'm like, you gotta get Ethan, you gotta get Ethan. So I'm like, you gotta run back, you gotta run and find him and get him. And then once I was saying, just jump. If you run back, you're dead. That's it. You're done. You're done. This is it. Just jump. just pray that he won't kill your 4-month-old. Just pray that you don't find him. And so I jump and I run and I land and I'm running. As I'm running, I'm looking behind me to see if people are running behind me, and I'm looking for her and for our daughter, and I don't see him. And one half's telling me, just go back in, go back. Like, you can't leave him in there. And it's like, well, if you go back, you're dead too. And what if our kids live and they're orphans with no parents? And you're just thinking, like, please let him get out alive. And then I'm thinking, I don't want to live. If they all die, I don't want to live.
You wanted to live bad enough to leave him there, motherfucker.
And her face has not changed.
No.
She's still looking down.
Stone-faced.
She's stone-faced, looking down, won't even look at him. She's disgusted with him.
He's watch how this is how you know he's full of shit. When he's going, I was looking around, and then all of a sudden he's like, I wanted to get back in. No. Describe the moment where you know where your baby is. There's 4 seats.
Yeah.
And describe how your instinct is to jump off the balcony and not protect Ethan. Ethan. How did you get out of the theater? Why are you not? You couldn't see him on the dark theater floor? I understand being disoriented.
And he was in the balcony?
Yeah.
And the gunman was below?
Yeah.
You stay in the balcony.
People are already saying he's never, ever going to get the #1 dad mug for Father's Day. Thank you, Fishman. Yeah, he's never going to get that.
Fucking stinks.
I think in that scenario, God forbid, if I was there, I would have had to stay with my kid in the balcony and then figure out a move.
Yeah.
He went for his move way too early.
Oh.
Way too fucking early.
He looked around and said, I don't see my son. All right, I'm jumping.
Just get on top of the
but he might just be
lay there.
He might just be stupid.
I think that has a lot
Part
to
of
do
this
with it.
is
I
he
think
might
he's
just be
idiot.
stupid, you know?
Even Uncle Paul lays on top of the kids, even when there's no gunfire. In a safe movie theater, he lays down on top of the kids.
I think you're really safe in the balcony.
Even if you're
in that
in the
theater,
right theater,
right?
I think so.
Your parental instinct should take over and protect your fucking infant kid.
Because the gunman would have to come up and around, up into the balcony. Then him and Ethan could go for the jump if he has no choice.
Ethan.
He was in a safe position compared to everybody else in that theater.
She's disgusted because another man helped her.
Yeah, they're never going to get over this.
No.
Yeah.
Why would she marry this guy? I mean, of course, she said yes at the end because he,
The only thing we will never know is the absolute panic that you feel in that situation.
Oh, yeah.
And what that does to an individual is all I'm saying.
Well, it's supposed to.
We all would like to think we'd be a hero and take a bullet for our girlfriend or our wife or
not them. I wouldn't.
or jump on your kid. We all would absolutely say that, but the only thing we don't know is the level of panic and what that does to the brain. That's all I'm saying, just to throw it in there.
Well,
but you're supposed to have that.
It's almost instinctual.
Instinctual. That's an animal fucking
You're
thing.
right.
But my point is this: he went for his move way too early. He was in a pretty safe place.
Yeah.
Considering, obviously.
His move should have been
just to wait it out a little bit longer.
Especially a fucking infant.
Right.
Like, what? Fucking even dogs usually don't bite infants. Even shitty dogs know that infants are something you don't fuck with.
Did he at least shove the infant under his seat before he jumped?
Anything.
He didn't know what a kid was.
I couldn't find Ethan. I couldn't find Ethan. I got to go back in. But then I'm thinking I could be. He said, then I'm thinking I could be dead too.
And then he's thinking,
which is very telling because he was like, my family's dead.
And then he's thinking, I don't want Ethan to be an orphan. You shut the fuck up. You did it for the kid.
Little orphan Ethan.
But you left Ethan there so he wouldn't be an orphan?
Yeah.
While she fucking trudged out the 2 kids?
You dolt.
You know how awful this guy's going to be when they fly together? Oh, he's the worst. I hope she's not going to marry him.
No.
I gotta hear
I
what
don't
she
think
said.
so.
She is fucking stone-facing him.
Ooh, does she not like this? Let's hear the rest.
Please, I'm praying, and I'm just praying. Just please let him get out alive. And I got a phone call from a Colorado number, and I answered it. And thank God it was Patricia, and just telling me.
And her hero.
Hold
on, pause that. Yeah. It was Patricia and her hero, because that's the other picture, the black guy.
Yeah. She was probably calling from the black
from
guy.
his cell phone.
Oh, man.
Of course she was.
Oh, man, it was from his cell phone.
And I called it back, and there was a rap ringtone, and I didn't know what it was.
Of course, it was a black guy too, because they are cool under pressure, man. Gunfire, they know how to handle gunfire.
Now you could say that, or you could just say that they'll do anything for a white girl. But good for that guy helping her out. That's you know how fucking disgusted she is. That you know how this guy has a deep-seated humiliation.
Impotent man, yes.
He fucking left his girl
Cuck.
and kids in the fucking theater. And
another 19-year-old
helped them out, and now he's got to sit there with her and explain that. I'm almost embarrassed for this guy.
Yeah.
And I feel terrible for her. Because you know this dummy wanted to come to the movie. He's the one that said we'll go. Selfish asshole.
Fuck it, let's go. You know?
Yeah.
Let's go. Fuck.
For her to tell me, like, I have asthma, do you have Ethan? And I didn't know what to tell her. And thank God she had him both.
Can you pause again? I'm sorry. I can't imagine going to my wife. I don't have him.
I don't have him. I jumped and ran. I don't know where the fuck he is.
She's asking, do you have Ethan? And you're like, hi.
Excuse me, there was gunfire going on.
I don't know how to tell you this, but
Were you in there?
That was an every man for himself situation.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
Hearing this interview again, I might be changing my, but I mean the panic in that theater, though.
I mean, maybe there's different levels of heroics and what you would do in this situation, but this guy took the complete fucking coward's way.
He left his own infant son. If it was somebody else's kid, I wouldn't sit here and posture phony brain. I really wouldn't, because I know I'm a fucking save your ass, fight or flight guy. But if you have your own infant, and your instinct is not to fucking protect your 4-month-old, then you fucking should not be coming in women.
Right.
And 4-year-old.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course, and 4-year-old.
Well, she saved the 4-year-old, right?
Oh, yeah,
Did she have
had
the
it all.
infant or
She had
no?
it under control.
She had
both.
Well, how about she was a bit selfish, running out of there, not
got
grabbing
two
the
kids.
husband and the new
boy.
Wait a minute, didn't she say, do you have Ethan?
No, he said he was worried that that's what she would say.
Oh.
I think what happened
But
was
she said, I
because-
have both of them.
he didn't want to
Don't worry, honey, I have both of them.
I saved both of them.
But
While
I think
you
because
ran
of the
away.
sheer terror and panic and mayhem, they were split up immediately. She's like, holy fuck, I'm just going to grab this kid and hope my husband grabs the other one and get us out of here.
Yeah.
Right? If
he
they
had
weren't together.
If he had the baby and ran out and she had the other kid, I wouldn't be criticizing him.
Right.
I'd go, that's, you know.
He just completely dropped the ball here.
But you can compliment him on this. He did take the time to match his shirt to his hat.
He did.
What a
The
clown.
big Broncos fan.
So,
Yeah.
This guy sucks. Dude,
She's livid
look at
right
her
there.
fucking face.
Amazing.
he stood in front of his closet trying to find a blue T-shirt to match his Broncos hat for longer than he stood trying to figure out how to save his 3-month-old.
Oh, boy.
That's pretty
It's
funny.
a different blue, though.
Yeah, wait a minute. Oh, God.
I'm ready for my close-up.
Honey, we gonna be on TV.
Yeah, this guy is truly fucking terrible.
Does Piers give him any lip about this whole thing?
I think Piers is pretty amazed by his account.
The whole amazed. How about look at the wife's or the girlfriend's face, listen to his story of utter cowardice, and comment on it.
Well, let's see what happens. It's almost done.
Yeah.
Thank God she had them both.
Patricia, there is one happy ending to this, and that is what happened in the hospital later on, that Jamie did something very special. Tell me about that.
We were in the hospital for about a good 10 minutes.
Wow.
And he'd gone to the restroom and came out, and he just looked at me and he said, I know this isn't the time or the place. And he's like, but will you marry me? And I said yes. And you just, something like this, just, knowing,
Got out of the shitter.
going through 10
She was
minutes
still
of
washing
thinking
shit
that he
off
was
her
dead and I'd never see him again.
She just took a nervous post-almost murdered shit.
And this idiot thought it was the perfect time.
As the fumes are wafting out. He's like, that's what I want to wake up to.
This guy just isn't aware of anything.
No, he's an idiot.
The-
No.
Women really want to be like in a perfect position if you're going to ask them to marry you.
Yeah.
Not coming out
You
of a
know-
shitter.
After a mass shooting.
Right.
He
Wow.
already had
Yeah.
2 kids, so it's not like, it's not like he waited too long as it was.
Right.
And then when he finally did it after having 2 kids with her, it's after he left the kids behind in a movie theater that was being shot up by a
Let our
maniac.
engagement remind you of my cowardice.
Right.
The
and
time
how
I
ran
shit
out.
right after you almost made me get killed.
Oh, this guy stinks.
Because of the shit.
Yeah.
Maybe he should stay off TV. He's not coming across too well.
No.
I bet that was definitely his idea, though, to accept the interview. She doesn't want to, like,
Oh,
keep
he's
telling
like,
people the story.
I gotta try to clear myself. And meanwhile, he just sounds like fucking an idiot.
He sounds hateable.
Yeah.
I like her. I don't find her hateable at all. But because he's the one that wanted to go to the movie.
Yeah, let's go.
There's no way that maybe they will
I can't
get
get a
married.
babysitter that late and everything. No, we'll take the kids. Just take the kids. Fuck it.
No, they'll get married.
It's only 3 hours.
You got them. It's only 3 hours at midnight. Oh, boy.
And the 4-year-old loves Batman.
Yeah. There's only fucking gunfire and murders and...
Don't worry about it.
Oh, my God.
PG-13, parental guidance. We
Right.
are the parents.
We're parenting. We're parenting.
We're guiding them.
So this guy's got his first court appearance today?
Yeah.
Any shot a sniper or somebody will get at him?
No, they always make sure these guys are taken care of. I
That's
guess
too
they said
fucking
he's gonna go for the insanity plea.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a little rough though. I mean, he was planning this for about 3 months, so it does have that premeditation factor, not just like you went off the deep end.
They got the death penalty in Colorado?
Yes, they do.
Will they do something about it, though?
Well, we won't be alive to see it.
Yeah, most states have the death penalty, but they don't really, not most, but a lot of states have the death penalty, and they never use it.
The appeals process
Which
also,
is a complete
if they
and
do
utter
use it.
joke. If you have it, fucking use it.
There's the appeals process, which goes on for 20 fucking
But that's
years.
how they got around it. They basically don't want the death penalty in any states. So they slow down the process. Not Texas, though.
No.
Texas will fucking fry your ass.
Texas is good when it comes to that.
This guy's in I think the woman's unit in protective custody.
Oh, great.
Because all the inmates are talking
Who, the
about
guy that
killing
ran
him.
out of the theater? Yeah. Should be in there.
This guy, all the inmates want to kill him.
Yeah.
And they said he's spitting at guards. He's pretending he's the Joker.
No,
fucking
he's not.
kill this
No,
guy.
he thinks he's the Joker. He's in a movie.
Strangle him.
Because he has not had any penalty yet. What he needs to happen is they need to walk him and allow a couple of people to drill their convict fist in the side of
sound
his face.
thrashing.
One fucking broken jaw.
You know what?
One fist coming through a bar and connecting with his teeth will take this guy out of his I'm the Joker role play and realize I'm in for a horrible existence here.
Yeah, one of the broads will take him out. Hopefully, one of the broads could easily take him out.
Shanked with a hairbrush handle.
We've all seen the MSNBC shows.
Oh,
late night.
Lockup. Yeah,
Holy fuck, those broads are scary.
Not quite the attractive
Oh, my God.
young convicts in there.
Put him in the yard
Bushy.
with the broads. The broads will absolutely take care of this asshole. Just fucking strangle him.
He's definitely being kept away from anything. The Joker.
He thinks he's the Joker. He thinks he's in a movie.
Yeah, just take a giant meaty fist and pound his face.
I don't even mean kill him. I mean, like, the first time, because right now, he's still like the evil guy. No one has addressed him the way he should be addressed.
Yes.
Which is first of course, having his teeth knocked out and his jaw broke. But those are tangible things. Like, those are not, the death penalty someday. Having your jaw wired shut is a real thing. Or having teeth, having gum pain because your teeth have been punched out is a real fucking thing. And once he gets a dose of that, he's going to realize that he is in a fucking very bad place.
Yeah.
And that's how the paper should be addressing this little cunt. Like he is the broken little nobody that he is. I'm not saying don't talk about it, but the fucking New York Post putting this guy on the cover like the crazed Joker plots escape. Literally, you are not only giving him what he wants, but you're encouraging other people to do it.
Yeah.
You really are. And they've shown that in study after study. Profiler after profiler says that.
People that are nobodies that want to be a somebody, they take this route.
Yep.
And look, hey, he's a somebody.
And now
There you
he's
go.
getting what he wants because he's an anti-hero. Like Alex in Clockwork Orange was an anti-hero. That's what this guy is to a lot of people.
What about Uncle Hero, too?
Oh,
with
Jesus
Bum?
Christ, Kobe, are you fucking crazy?
It's been brought up before, but it's funny how they'll show this guy over and over again, but they consistently don't show people running out on the field in sporting events.
I
And
retweeted
know
someone who said that. Yeah, someone said
God,
that.
that's
because
perfect.
they don't want to encourage other people to do
Yes.
It's a great point.
Yeah, because we just suck.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now that's got something to do with probably the venues putting their foot down. That's got something to do. But what a great point. They don't want to encourage other people to do it, so they don't show it.
Yeah.
But this guy, they will put on the front page his evil glare.
Ooh. He's the Joker.
And I know you got to name him. He's a criminal. And I mean, it's a real story. You can't not do it on principle.
Yeah.
But to call him this and to talk about him the way, like literally, if this guy had written, James Holmes, if he had written these headlines, this is how he would have written them.
That's how he would have wanted him written. And
They're fucking, these papers, but meanwhile, you do a rape joke or whatever.
Right.
You're a terrible person, but the public tolerates this.
This is what you do. You get the CIA involved, and you fucking take this asshole out immediately. And everyone goes, I don't really know what the fuck happened, man. He was guarded, and
he just
turned our back for a
died
second.
in his cell.
Yeah. That's why that conspiracy and secret government shit doesn't
right.
work.
Yeah.
Because this is a perfect case where you should do something.
Well, he's a patsy because apparently, how I've heard, the government
is
kind
that
of
the Alex
staged
Jones
this whole thing.
Did we get the Alex Jones audio for today? He's a complete lunatic.
No, we
Everything to him is a conspiracy. Everything.
Could you get a clip of Alex Jones? We should have had it today. He is
Even
out of his
I think
mind.
he's an idiot on this one.
Nice.
Yeah, he thinks this is some kind of psyops. He loves saying psyops. Please.
Hey, how long did it take for us to get rid of Timothy McVeigh?
Yeah, it was a few years, definitely.
But how many? Because, I mean, that's a death penalty case that should have been like...
Was it 10 years?
1, 2, 3.
Was it about 10 years, I'm thinking? Let me see.
I think it was longer than 10.
You also had another guy testifying against him, though, which made it a lot easier to nail him. Terry Nichols, who did not get the death penalty. It helps if there's someone else testifying.
And didn't he, at the end, say that he didn't want any more appeals?
Yeah.
So...
Yeah, it was up to him finally.
Yeah.
He finally said, look, just kill me. How many years did it take to kill him? Way too many is my point here.
Yeah.
Does anyone know the
He was they killed him in 2000. So
what?
It says they killed him in 2000. Did they?
No. Was
that it?
What?
Hey, Soup Jew, was that it?
It was 90. Wasn't it 94 that it happened? 95. April of 95.
95. They killed him past 2000. What?
2001. June 11th, 2001 is when he died.
Really? Took 6 years, though.
There was something satisfying that he never even got to see 9/11, though. Because he would have loved that.
He'd have loved that, yeah.
He missed 9/11 by a couple months. Good.
Fucker. Yeah.
6 years. Well, that's sort of speedy.
Yeah, well,
it kind of is.
As far as death penalty goes,
that one's kind of speedy.
But
6
again,
years.
he was the one that had to go like, fuck, no more appeals, no more nothing. Just
how long is the Alex Jones?
Inside the Joker's lair. They're calling him the Joker.
Don't call him the Joker.
They're all a fucking part of it, and they know it encourages more, and they don't give a fuck. They don't care.
Strangle him. Is that a fucking mole on that broad's face?
No, it's a bullet wound.
Oh,
jeez.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I feel like a complete idiot.
Who is that?
She has her chin.
This is Greg Hughes. I feel like a complete idiot. Is that really a bullet wound?
Yeah, they're interviewing a girl. She had a tooth knocked out. She must have gotten, like,
I'm sorry.
grazed on the
For
chin.
real, I'm sorry.
I thought you meant the fucking newscaster.
No, man, I saw them interviewing this girl, and I just looked up. I didn't. I'm sorry.
She got whacked.
Idiot.
Oh, all right.
With a
Ice
little bullet.
Ice
Yeah.
Sorry. For real, sorry.
That's all right. You didn't know.
I'll make fun of a mole, no problem, but I guess a lot of people couldn't help but see the Christian Bale wart/mole.
Good.
That the fucking
Everyone had
Bane's
moles.
voice.
Yeah, how great is that?
Yeah.
It annoyed all of
It
them.
annoyed everybody.
Supposedly-
Weepy Alfred.
Supposedly his voice was easy to understand if you weren't in the IMAX.
That's familiar, yeah.
Supposedly, that's what I reports that I got.
And you know how we were I was killing MSNBC when it was happening for not covering it accurately or enough. And people are like, "Why are you mad that they're over covering it when you were killing?" Because when it's an active news story, like when they're still pulling people out of the theater,
Right.
I would like complete coverage. It makes sense to me.
Of course.
An hour after it happens.
Because it's still news at
they're
that
still
point.
bringing witnesses out.
Yeah.
Of course.
There's a difference between giving me constant coverage because the network is prepared or not prepared and cartooning it with the Joker's lair.
Right. The Joker's lair. Just
The Joker.
fucking kill
No, he's
him.
spitting on the guards.
Guess what?
He's the Joker.
Oh, he's crazy. Look out.
Guess what? We're not better than that as a society. Take him out back and shoot him in the head.
Yeah. Be wonderful.
And then the next guy might think twice about it. That's start there. And then you can discuss gun control, death penalty, all that other shit.
Yeah.
Take him off the fucking planet first.
One caved in fucking mouth, and this guy will feel differently.
Oh, he'll
His Joker
fucking-
fantasy
Yeah.
with a broken jaw or
end right
shattered
there.
teeth. Now, the cops have to protect him, which is unfortunate, but they
I
do.
would love to talk to one of those guys. Like,
Yeah.
I understand. Trust
Yeah,
me.
they have to.
I really do understand, but I would love to talk to you about it. Like, that's got to kill you inside.
Because if they didn't have to protect him, they would be knocking his teeth out.
Right.
That's all. Basically,
How weird is that? They're the protectors. They're walking down the corridors or whatever, and knowing I want to fucking do something to this guy.
but that's why they have that, because like other prisoners would do something, but you're legally responsible for a guy when he's in state care.
Yeah.
Because literally the guards I think the guards would be more likely to beat the shit out of this guy than that phony street justice that convicts have. The guards would be more likely to fucking
I think you're right.
take this guy's fucking jaw off than other convicts.
I love the fact that these inmates have a level of honor among themselves.
I don't even think they do.
Well, they're all saying how they want to take him out.
You
you
know
don't
what,
believe
though?
that shit?
Nah, pedophiles survive in jail. Once in a while, someone does the right thing. Pedophiles survive. Rapists survive in jail.
Yeah.
I think more of these guys would be taken out, but that's how well they're protected.
Maybe, yeah.
In the end. I mean, Jeffrey Dahmer, they wanted him forever, and then finally the guy got him with what the handle.
But that wasn't even over what he did.
I know.
No,
they finally got to
some
him.
prison beef, like having a beef with
I
somebody.
think if you're in jail for a bunch of life sentences, you would absolutely be the guy that would just take him out for cred in the prison.
He'll be in fucking protective custody, and
fuck it.
You're never gonna fucking hear about him getting
Well,
getting killed.
The next idiot that we're gonna talk about is Alex Jones. He says, "Is Batman Massacre staged terror?"
What?
Can we do it after the break? I gotta pee really bad.
Yeah.
Sure.
Where's our grub? Oh, here it comes.
And also Joe Paterno. We'll get into that shit as well.
Oh.
Sirius XM. This is the Opie and Anthony Show.
Nothing wrong with Rush, huh? Still not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Canadians.
They know how to play their instruments.
Unbelievably well.
My God. Why the Rush?
That's what she should have said to her boyfriend as he jumped out of the fucking... He left his fucking girl and the 4-year-old and a 4-month-old that he fathered in the fucking balcony while he jumped.
You definitely don't live that down.
No.
Well, did the guy come in the balcony? Is that what it was?
No. I think the balcony, relatively speaking, I'll say it again, was the safest place that night.
He was down by
For
the
a while.
screen.
Yeah.
So why was this guy jumping down? Like, wouldn't this guy be jumping?
Probably because the gunman at that point moved toward the back of the theater. Now
And he
he's
might
like,
have thought he was coming up the steps.
maybe, and then he's
Old
thinking,
Panicky Pete.
now I could jump and run out the exit. Maybe, I don't know.
I would love to know, because I
What an
really want to be
insane
wrong.
situation to be in.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Leaves his 4-month-old. I can't. Can you think of any circumstance where you would leave your son?
No, of course not. But also, I'm just wondering the level of panic and if that just rewires your brain. I don't know.
Didn't rewire
That's all
the
I'm
mother's
saying.
brain. She stayed.
I think she didn't stay. She ran with the other kid.
She took her kids, though.
She didn't. No, there were 2 kids.
Yeah.
She took the 4-year-old. The 4-month-old was with him.
No.
No.
He left both his kids.
Oh, and she came back and grabbed the other one, I guess, then, right?
She had both.
She had both the kids.
But he's saying that he had one.
No. He was afraid. No, he didn't have a kid. He left them both.
Left them both.
That's what I'm complaining about.
When he said that, he said,
Why was he debating the whole jumping with the 4-month-old then?
He said, first he said that he was going to jump with the 4-month-old, then he couldn't turn around, couldn't find him, so he jumped anyway.
Because she grabbed both kids and
he jumped without his children.
Yeah, that's kind of dumb.
He left both of his kids.
And then the black guy came up and got her and
she should be marrying the black guy.
If he took his son, I wouldn't be faulting him. If he took his kid and ran, and she took the 4-year-old, I wouldn't be criticizing him.
Gotcha now.
They did something.
She should marry her protector, the black guy.
The mind of James Holmes. Good job, CNN.
The mind. Yeah, he's a coward and he's a crazy person. Exactly. Period. Now shoot him in the fucking head and let's move on. That's how you take care of this shit. Because people are talking about gun control and all that. The fact is, and wow, that is a bullet wound. I feel like a complete idiot. So where did the bullet go in?
Shot in chin. It probably grazed her.
Oh, that's a graze. So that's a big scab.
And knocked her tooth out, though. She also, so it probably really fucking slammed her in the. It probably felt like she got punched.
That's gotta hurt.
Yeah.
You think that her tooth aches?
Yeah.
But that scar will suck, but it's also a great reminder. Like, every day, if something's wrong, if you look at that scar, you're like, wow, I should be dead. Like, that's a reminder of how fucking lucky you are to be alive, too.
And gun control is one of those issues, but the fact is this, and the facts are the facts. The guy, you could have done 1 million background checks on the guy. He was going to get a gun because he had a speeding ticket. That's it.
Yeah.
So even if you clamp down on... making it even harder to get guns. This individual would have got guns, even with tougher gun laws.
Yeah, exactly.
He had what? Just a speeding ticket on his record? That was it?
That's it. He didn't have any kind of psych issues at the time, and
so it's easy to say, tougher gun laws, but the fact I said it.
He qualified.
Why do I keep saying the same shit? But he would have got a gun even if it really clamped down.
Yeah.
So it's not as easy as that, people.
Is Holmes mentally ill?
Going to get a semi-automatic. People, I can't even deal anymore. I did my Twitter thing. I did a compound show on it. Just deal with that. I'm so fucking sick of it.
Well, this is Bloomberg. We got Bloomberg.
I've noticed people that are arguing for more gun control really don't know much about guns or gun laws already. That's what I'm noticing. People that have guns, you have to know about guns and gun laws. If you're a responsible legal gun owner, you got to know about those things. It's your life. You could perhaps go to jail if you don't. And people that are for more gun control, they're just there to, for more gun control. So they don't really educate themselves. I had one guy, he asked me on Twitter, what's the difference between a semi-automatic and an automatic? Which is fine if you don't know that. I have no qualms about somebody not knowing that. But then I started looking at his previous tweets before that. And they were all like, they should ban this. Why was this guy allowed to get that? Instead, it's like, how could you argue for gun control when you don't even know what certain guns do or what's banned already and what isn't banned? He didn't go in with a machine gun. That's not even, it's very difficult for a civilian to get a machine gun. You got to be in the right state, massive paperwork, huge fucking money. But people are talking like anyone in this day and age could just walk into a store and buy a machine gun. No, it was a semi-automatic assault weapon. Really? It's exactly like a hunting rifle, a semi-automatic hunting rifle that you see, the big wooden stock, the magazine that goes in the bottom, and a scope on top, and you shoot a deer or something like that. That's exactly what an assault weapon is, except it looks like it looks more military. It doesn't do anything different than any other semi-automatic wooden stocked hunting rifle does. But they like to make it sound like, why are people allowed to buy those?
Does it shoot 50 to 60 rounds in a minute?
It shoots bullets as quickly as you can pull the trigger. That's what it is. You got to pull the trigger. Every time you want a bullet to fly out the front, you got to pull the trigger. So it sounds like you could just, but it's, if you want to accurately shoot, you can't just sit there going, and pulling the trigger quickly. But that's what it is, and it's no different than a lot of people's hunting rifles. That's just what it is. But it looks badass. It's got a lot of black plastic parts on it. It's got the rails to put laser sights and scopes on and everything else, but no difference. But that seems to be, people are very uninformed when it comes to this. They don't know what the laws are. And then they say, well, I bring up the point that Detroit and Chicago and D.C. have the strictest gun laws in the country and the highest rate of gun crimes in the country. And then someone says, well, it's because surrounding states have lax gun laws, so people buy them there and then bring them to these other places.
Well, that makes sense.
And that's breaking the law. Because people are under the impression, by the way, that you can legally just go and buy a gun somewhere, like Arizona, somewhere where the gun laws are pretty lax, and then just go to New York and go, well, I couldn't buy it in New York, but I bought it in Arizona, and here I am with my gun. No. You're now a criminal who has broken the law, and you can go to prison for that. There's regulations in place. There already are. It's not the Wild West as far as people buying guns. The problem is there's going to be people that do this shit. There's going to be people that lose their fucking minds and kill a lot of people. And people want an answer for it because it scares them that there's no answer. It's a frightening prospect that no matter what you do, this is still going to happen at some time and place.
I don't think there's an easy answer. I don't think there's an easy solution.
But it's because it's human nature. This all boils down to this guy is a human being that malfunctioned. And there's nothing that can stop that. You're always going to have people that are fucked up. We're not machines. There's no fix. There's no turn of an idle screw. It's a guy. And he decided he was going to kill people. And when people decide that, whether they use a gun or a car or knives or whatever the fuck they use, and the whole thing of, well, you could kill more people with a gun than a knife. Yeah, you can. But you know what? If I decided to take my fucking truck and barrel it into Times Square and mow down people, I could guarantee you I'll get more than 12 people killed if I fly in at 70 miles an hour into crowded Times Square. It's people that want to kill people are going to kill people. It's been proven over the years. You know, you don't need a gun. Timothy McVeigh, he didn't fire a shot.
I just don't trust people with guns.
I don't trust people with illegal guns. I don't trust people that are irresponsible with guns.
I barely trust people with their cars. I don't trust people with guns.
People are a lot less trustworthy with their cars than with guns. Legal gun owners are pretty responsible. When you think of the amount of people that do own guns in this country and how many people are actually killed with guns, and I mean crime-related, because a lot of these stats include legitimate self-defense killings, police. It's just homicide by gun includes police in the line of duty, killing somebody.
So we understand your stand on this, but how do we make it better? That's my question today. Very simple to you. How do we make it better? Because obviously there's a lot of gun violence in this country, more than other countries.
How do we make it better?
It seems.
I think we are. There's no way you can avoid this. This is such a rare instance.
No, I know, but I'm just saying in general, the gun issue. How do we make it better? Because it's a hot topic for a lot of people.
What needs to be made better? Let's say, what needs to be made better first? The fact that a lot of people are being killed by guns?
Well, it seems like a lot of people are being killed by guns. So what do we do as a country to make it a little better?
How about cracking down on the laws that are out there already? It's pretty illegal to have guns in a lot of the people that are shooting in Chicago and Detroit. Those are illegal guns that they're using. Boy, they sure didn't want to continue with stop and frisk with people that they suspect might be doing something. They jump in on that. I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. All I know is, as far as the Constitution goes, you know, you're entitled to protect yourself in the best means you see fit. The best means I see fit to protect myself, my loved ones, is to have the great equalizer, a gun, which puts you on equal footing with anyone trying to do anything with you. What the result will be in certain circumstances, no one knows. But I'll tell you one thing. It's not going to be the stronger guy. It's not going to be the person that maybe has more friends with him. It's not going to be the guy that kicks your door open with a fucking gun, even.
Or with the better hat.
Yeah, right, the better hat. You're now on equal ground. It's it's détente, the great equalizer. And for anyone to tell me I can't use a certain thing to protect myself, that's horse shit.
Text punch 'em. What needs to change is the punishment for breaking current gun laws.
What's that?
What needs to change is the punishment for breaking current gun laws.
Oh, yeah.
Make them
fucking A. Make them
way strict.
Make them crazy.
You start fucking throwing the death penalties on these people.
Yeah. Yep.
I think we got to get drastic.
Yeah.
With how we handle people that are using guns illegally.
And people also have another misconception. The Second Amendment isn't the right to hunt. People think it's like, if you can't fucking hunt with a single shot rifle and you need a semi-automatic, it's not about hunting. It's about the Second Amendment being that you have the right to bear arms, to have weapons to protect yourself from an invasion of your house or an invasion by your government.
And that is a dumb argument, because I would assume if you were hunting, it would be kind of cool to have an assault rifle or something.
Oh, man.
It would make it a little more fun.
It would make it fun, but the traditional hunters don't like those.
Oh, I understand that. Because then they would argue that point as well. But
unloading.
But I could see where that would be fun for some people, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
What does détente mean?
It's like a balance of power. It's like we had with the Russians, it's mutual annihilation. So one person doesn't do something because they know that they're probably going to get the same thing in return.
What kind of word is that? Because I'm asking for a reason.
I think it's French.
It was in a John Valby song, and I never understood what it meant.
Really?
It was in one of his da 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 da, da and I never heard.
Wow, okay.
And the last line of the limerick is "Chalk up one more for détente."
Oh.
Which I guess means that, and I never knew what the fuck that meant until you just said it.
You get a little education on this program.
Yes, I do.
Here's Bloomberg.
But somebody's got to do something about this, and this requires, and particularly in a presidential year, the candidates for President of the United States to stand up and once and for all say, yes, they feel terrible. Yes, it's a tragedy. Yes, we have great sympathy for the families, but it's time for this country to do something. And that's the job of the President of the United States. And I don't know what they're going to do, but I think it's incumbent on them to tell us specifically, not just in broad terms. Governor Romney, when he was governor of Massachusetts, actually passed a ban on assault weapons. And President Obama, when he came into office in 2008, said he would reinstitute the federal ban on assault weapons. And the governor has apparently changed his views, and the president has spent the last 3 years trying to avoid the issue, or if he's facing it, I don't know anybody that's seen him face it. And it's time for both of them to be held accountable.
I'll say this much. At least he's talking about a real issue. Whether you agree or disagree, at least he's talking about a real issue instead of that sugary drink crap.
It's hard not to talk about it now. Like, this is one of those things where gun owners have to know. It's almost like when there's a drunk driving accident that's high profile, everyone talks.
Yeah, everybody's going to talk about
this. There's no way that you're not going to have guys talking about getting rid of guns right now. It's just whenever there's something like this, it's what people talk about.
I love how the mayor brings up assault weapons again, and everybody's talking assault weapons. And this is an FBI crime statistic. 4% of crimes, murders actually, 4% of homicides were done with a rifle. 4% out of all of them were a rifle. And that's every rifle. If you just whittle it down to assault weapons, it's a fraction of that. It's not that big a fucking problem.
It's really not taking care of the issue.
No one's taking assault weapons and...
So what is the number one? Handguns, obviously?
Handguns are like 70% of...
We have a much bigger problem with handguns.
Of homicide
assault
with
rifles.
Guns.
But aren't they considered the semi-automatics that he's talking? Aren't the assault weapons the handgun? Like when he's saying assault weapons, isn't he talking more about like automatic or semi-automatic handguns?
No.
Oh, he's not.
With the assault weapon ban that was in place, it was just about the rifles. And let me tell you what constitutes an assault weapon in a lot of places. Here's something I'm not allowed to own because it constitutes an assault weapon. If I have an AR-15, which I do, and it has... Here's one of the criteria, a bayonet lug. If I have a bayonet lug, which is the attachment to put a bayonet on the end of your fucking gun, that is one of the things that constitute an assault weapon. When was the last time anyone was hurt in a bayonet charge as a robbery or shooting was going on? A stock, a movable stock, one that goes in and out, because in certain situations, a circumstance down at the range, long-range shooting or shorter shooting, you want to adjust your stock in or out a couple of inches. If your stock adjusts, that's a fucking assault weapon. If it has a muzzle brake on the end, which is a flash suppressor, something on the end of the gun that looks cool, that is another thing that constitutes an assault weapon. It's all this aesthetic shit that really has nothing to do with the meat of the situation, which is it's a semi-automatic rifle, just like your dad's hunting rifle. And people, though, there's so much misinformation out there that people literally think that you can go into a store now and buy a machine gun. And that's what the people are going, we got to stop this. Military guns are being sold to civilians. No.
Sounds like shallow victories, really.
Yeah.
I mean, you get these victories, but it doesn't really solve the actual problem.
No, it really doesn't.
The phones. Let's see if we want to take any of these. On Facebook, blacks and Hispanics are saying that he's getting special treatment because he's white.
Oh, yeah, they're very angry.
Maybe is he being treated differently than a? I don't know.
They say if a black guy shoots up a place, he's a thug or gangster or drug dealer. If a Hispanic shoots up something, they say, oh, it must be an illegal immigrant. If an Arab shoots it up, he's a terrorist. And if a white guy shoots it up, he's
crazy white guy.
He's got a mental problem.
But in general, that's how it works.
That is how it works.
In general, that's how it works.
They look into his past. They look into what caused it, there is a point there in how the media handles it.
Yep. You know what? If a black guy walks into a party and shoots, and I understand this is different because he planned it and he plotted it, he painted his hair red.
It's a crazy white guy thing.
But when a black guy walks into a party and shoots it up, you don't say what's wrong with him mentally. What is he going through?
We assume we know.
We assume we know.
Oh, poverty, a lack of a father in the family, growing up in a drug culture. Lack of education, all that good stuff.
That's a good point. I mean, they're not wrong.
But it's crazy white guy.
Crazy white guy. And crazy white guy gets crazy white guy coverage, which is nonstop.
But when it comes to like blacks or Hispanics, it almost, and again, we always talk about the media treating them like this is just how they act.
Right.
This is the same media, by the way, that doesn't want to mention black on white crime when it's got racial implications as a racial crime.
Yeah.
The same ones who cover a white guy doing it like it's this crazy anomaly of a madman.
Yeah.
But when you guys do it, par for the course. That's just an average Saturday.
Well, the truth of the matter is this is a very rare occurrence that happens, and shootings in black communities is very common. So I think that's
why.
A
mass murder, though. Like a mass murder. Gang shootings are one thing, but a guy walking into a place and just shooting it up, which,
black guys don't normally do that.
They do it at parties. They don't do it here, but that's where it happens. Yeah. When a guy gets kicked out of a party, he goes back.
But it's never some planned, psychopathic, you have this deep, lunatic thing going on. It's very impulsive. Right. I got kicked out of a party. Let me go fucking spray the goddamn house.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it is almost that's expected, so let's not even try to dig deep into who this guy is, because we all know what the answer will be. Right. And with white guy, it's like, whoa, this must be some weird anomaly. Like
crazy, evil genius.
Let's in a way, it is weird, though. He's booby-trapping his apartment, dyeing his hair fucking orange, not even red. Just kill the guy. Now
thinks he's a joker.
Some guy goes, how is putting a bullet in Holmes' head going to act as a deterrent when 95% of these cases ended in the shooter killing himself?
God, look at this. Somebody's right here.
I guess you might have a point there, but at least this guy will be off the fucking earth.
Somebody right here is saying, I was under the impression that assault weapon was a machine gun. They never clarify things on the news. Well, they don't want people informed on this. And like I said, the least informed people about guns that I've seen are people that want them banned. At least get a fucking education about what you're trying to take away from law-abiding citizens.
Well, let's see if we want to take any of these calls. If we had more guns, he would have thought twice walking in there and shooting it up.
That's speculation. No one knows what would have happened.
We have a ban of guns in D.C., but there are still so many guns here.
Right.
If people knew how to use guns, it would have helped.
Right.
And assault weapons are not used for hunting.
Yeah,
It's
it is.
illegal.
It is illegal to use for hunting, but
Right,
he was
so
just
that's
saying
out there.
what a pisser it would be to just spray poor Bambi with fucking 30 rounds. Oh God, that would be terrible. I think it would ruin the meat. I think it would ruin the meat.
Yeah, it'd be a little metally.
Yeah. I don't know. It's the debate will continue.
I think the
obviously.
answer is everybody just needs to have a cup of tea and be nicer to each
Oh,
other.
wouldn't that be lovely? From your mouth to God's ears.
Everybody needs to knit themselves an Afghan and just simmer down a little bit.
Just have a cup of coffee, a Danish, and just talk.
We love to debate in this country, but nothing really moves.
No.
This issue will not change anytime soon.
And people criticize the NRA a lot because of their hard tactics the other way, but it's the only way we're going to hold on to these rights. And if there's any misinterpretation of the Second Amendment, just look at the quotes of the people that fucking wrote it. Could you just do that and not just the actual amendment itself, but quotes about gun ownership by the people that penned it, and see what their actual thought process was when they came up with the Second Amendment. It absolutely, they wanted an armed public. They wanted them armed, and not just for a tyrannical government and prevention thereof, but to protect themselves.
What changed in your life that you're such a gun?
I've always been.
I'm going to say.
Gun nut.
Such a queer.
I was going to say gun nut, but
Gun
not
queer.
but not like nut. You know,
I know, yeah.
You're over the top with your guns now.
Over the top.
I've known you for 18 years, and most of that time you didn't even own one, and now you own a bunch. And you're all in with guns now.
I'm all
something
in with
that you weren't.
My right.
Something you weren't
own.
all in with for most of the time I've known you. What changed in your life?
I don't know.
You casually say, I always liked guns. I used to shoot with my dad out in California. But then you ramped it up. You're like really into guns now.
Because I guess when I got my pistol license, I started to see the real fucking, the real issues with people trying to infringe on your right to bear arms. And if any other right was infringed upon that much, there'd be a fucking outcry. But the thing is, a lot of people don't have guns, don't understand them, don't understand the Second Amendment, and but they're totally willing to jump into the fray of this argument without being very informed about it.
You know what I think it is? When Anthony bought his house. That was when. It's because when you were in apartments, you are protected. I feel safe in my apartment because I'm in a building. I'm surrounded by people.
Yeah.
But when you are in a house, there is no neighbor that is like literally banging on the wall.
You're on your own.
You are more on your own, and it seems like that was when you became into guns. Because I mean, in this part, because you're alone.
I also enjoy. Let me just also say, it's not just this paranoia thing. Yeah. I enjoy shooting. I enjoy going to the range with a lot of various weapons. And I think I've been lucky to have a career that offers me the financial resources to buy a lot of exotic weaponry and shoot it at ranges. Because you know what? It's fun. It's just fun to do. It's like shooting darts with the firecrackers going off. It's just fun to try to hit a target and challenge yourself.
Mike in Jersey. Let's just forget it then, Anthony. We'll just keep hailing innocent people as heroes, lowering the flag to half-mast, and letting the media compete for ratings by going over each and every detail of the incident, including trying to figure out why, and why is in capital letters.
So what would have prevented this guy from having a gun? What would have done it? Eliminate the Second Amendment completely, or what? Or put this guy through the mill to try to weed him out? Sometimes people aren't going to be weeded out. That's what happened with this guy.
I wish these guys would call. I mean, they're angry on instant feedback. So you should call the show, though. I think he continues. It looks like the same guy. Yeah. Stop trying to justify this. You're a nutcase who wears guns to protect. What, when, where, what, when were you last robbed at gunpoint?
It doesn't matter. See, that's another argument. Let me fucking say this to that guy. It happens. What are you living? Where are you living? Where it just happens to people on television? It just happens. No, I haven't been robbed or fucking assaulted or had my life threatened up close and personal, face to face. But that doesn't mean it doesn't happen. And mark my fucking words, if you, sir, were in a circumstance where your loved ones were being assaulted, or somebody broke into your house and had a weapon, you would sure as fuck want to have a gun. All these motherfuckers, when was the last time that happened to you? It hasn't. Doesn't mean it's not going to. And the biggest fucking tragedy I can imagine is having your gun at home when something happens to you and not being able to use it to protect yourself or a loved one. How do you live with that? And this guy say, don't say because I like having guns that I should only have one if something happens to me. It's called being prepared for something. People are fucking, look what happened. There's bad people out there. I'm not paranoid thinking they're all over the place. But you know what? It's something you have to be prepared for. People do get fucked up by people that enjoy hurting other people. And this guy in the theater, who knows? Who knows what would have happened if there was one or two citizens in there well-versed in firearms that were able to, react.
You would have shot in that theater, wouldn't you?
If it was prudent, yes, of course.
One more from Mike. I wish you would call the show. Maybe he can't for whatever reason. Right. Well, just keep debating and nothing will change because... hold on. Because you need to be selfish enough to quote the Second Amendment. That amendment was written during the development of a new country based on being created during a war and martial law.
Oh, stop it. That isn't it. They penned the Bill of Rights and the Second Amendment, the First Amendment. All these things were put in place for a nation to look to and to use as a foundation. They're not dated. These are things put in place for a free country like we have, you fucking idiot.
And Greg in Huntington Beach, to your point, I live in L.A., got robbed at gunpoint a month ago. I wish I had a gun.
There you go. And maybe, you know what? Even if you have a gun, in certain circumstances, the best thing is just to comply. Give them your fucking money. What are you going to do? I'm not fucking Mr. Wild West here. I'm not saying, yeah, I'd fucking be in that theater. I'd have taken that motherfucker out. No. The best thing might have been to just duck. But, you don't know that. The worst possible scenario, I'll give you the worst possible scenario. A guy in a movie theater, the only one with a gun, shooting at a door full of fucking people trying to get out. That's the worst scenario. I think another person with a gun in there that's a responsible citizen might have been able to at least distract the guy, even though he's wearing body armor. If a couple of rounds hit him, it's not. It's definitely going to fucking get his attention.
And what, his gun jammed? It would have been even worse.
Yeah, he had one of those big fucking 100-round rotary clip gizmos, drums, which, again, illegal. And
that's an illegal gun?
Firing off. Yeah.
Nope. Attaching the drum makes it illegal.
The drum, 100-round drum.
But you can get the drum online? Legally?
That
seems weird to me.
The drums...
That you could get something that's legal, but then it becomes illegal when you add it onto your gun.
A lot of things are grandfathered in with laws, so when they ban something, they have to ban it from a certain year forward. They have to let whatever it is run out. So there's certain magazines that were pre-1996, I think it is, you're allowed to have.
You know what, though? This is where the NRA loses me. Like, if it's something like a 100-round drum, I think that we, the public, have the right to say we don't want citizens having that under any circumstances.
Right, 75?
Huh?
50? Where do you stop?
I think that...
Where do you stop?
I would say I'm comfortable with the 9-round clip, whatever cops carry, in that area. But, I mean, because I don't know the exact number, but I know that there's a line way before 100 that I'm comfortable with. I'm for people having weapons and protecting themselves, but a 100-round drum...
I don't agree with the 100-round drum myself.
But the NRA will fight that.
They'll
fight that.
Yeah, but I have no problem with them fighting that because they're tugging on the rope with the other end, which is trying to completely annihilate the second.
But that's what Sharpton does. Sharpton does the same thing. He's pulling on that rope because for the same reason.
Right,
that's his argument. Is if I don't fight at all, I'm letting something go.
Exactly, and he does.
Educate me on the NRA a little bit. Are they all or nothing with this stuff?
For the most part,
they're
yes.
pretty much all or nothing.
They are for the most part. When you look
do you
into
agree with that, or do you feel like there could be a little leeway?
I like having at
least some leeway,
an organization.
Or no?
I like having an organization there that's willing to really take it into the trenches with the people that would have every gun taken away from everybody. Mm-hmm. I mean, look, the police. They say only the police and military should have guns. The police were there. They were in the parking lot of the movie theater for crowd control. They didn't have to be called and drive to the theater. They were fucking on scene, and this happened.
And here's the other question. How many people in the theater, has it come out yet, had guns?
Actually, you're not allowed to have a gun in that theater. There's a rule for Cinemark theaters that you're not allowed.
But how do they check for that?
To have guns. Well, if you had one, it would be illegal.
And can they do that, though? Like, a university wasn't allowed to do that because your constitutional right in that state was more important and overrode the university's individual policy. How can they do that?
It's state by state. State rights, as far as gun laws and restrictions go, it's amazing the power they have. And but the thing is, I don't see the gunman paying attention to a sign that says you're not allowed to bring a gun into the theater.
Well, obviously, yeah.
But that just assures that he will be able to open fire with impunity. Yep. I was saying, and people are cracking up, saying, you're an asshole. That is a microcosm of an unarmed public. That theater is a complete little slice of society of what it's like when the public isn't armed, but some type of aggressor is. There's no recourse, and aggressor wins. It's beyond me.
So they should go the other way and pass out pistols before the show.
Well, that's what other people were saying.
Archie Bunker said that on a flight.
Yeah.
All right.
And of course,
the hijacking.
The hijacking.
All right.
So play that.
All right. Go with the Archie Bunker
That's
thing.
ridiculous the other way.
Right.
What I was trying to explain is not everyone is going to have a gun. People aren't comfortable with them. They don't like them. Other people just don't think about it at all. There are only a few people are going to actually have guns. Hopefully, and I'm all for training. Be very good at what you do and how you use a gun. Be very responsible. And in that situation, a responsible gun owner that's very familiar with his gun and knows and is trained will do a lot of good in a situation like that.
But how many people that own legal guns are responsible?
Well, you know what? A lot of people own guns, and on a daily basis, if you look at the actual numbers, a lot of people aren't dying.
I just don't trust people with guns.
See, that's
even when I walk down the street and I see a cop with a gun, I'm like, God, does he really know how to use that?
But it's because, and I'm not.
I'm being honest.
It's not offensive because you don't trust yourself with a gun.
Oh no, of course not.
You don't like a lot of people that don't trust themselves or don't have an understanding or are afraid of gun. A lot of people are afraid to hold a gun and shoot it. It's a scary, kind of exciting thing at the range. I've seen first-time shooters at the range, and they're like. Most people are inherently afraid of a gun, even if they're pointing it
just so you
themselves.
know, I'm not one of these guys that wants all guns to go away, by the way.
Oh, I know, yeah.
There seems to be some problems there.
Yeah,
I don't have a solution, by the way.
Anthony's a responsible guy with his guns. Like, when you go over, he'll hand it to you and go, "I just shoot up in the air."
Yeah, I just have people fired into my ceiling.
No, he's like, just go outside and shoot, like, over that house, but don't shoot through the
things
windows.
like that. I'm very good with
We play like adult army, chasing each other with the guns. He's like,
but you have to just use the pew-pew sound even though you're firing a real gun?
He always tapes the trigger. He's like, just be careful because the safety's off.
Well, we can all agree that Alex Jones is an asshole, and we're going to explain, at least in this room.
Yes, we
can. Because I know he's got his fans out there.
I don't know what he's doing.
But the latest Alex Jones audio is just, Jesus, Alex. What are you doing?
He's a madman.
We'll explain next.
Now I want to talk about another thing that's on everybody's mind today, and that's your stick-ups and your skyjackets, which, if that was up to me, I could end the skyjackets tomorrow. All you got to do is arm all your passengers. And then he ain't got no more superiority there, and he ain't going to dare to pull out no rod. And then your airlines, then they wouldn't have to search the passengers on the ground no more. They just pass out the pistols at the beginning of the trip, and they pick them up again at the end. Case closed.
The Opie and Anthony Show. Sirius XM.
She's part girl, she's part boy. She's got parts everyone can enjoy. She's got more, she's got less. She's got her manhood tucked in her dress, yeah. Is she a mister or is she a miss? Does she stand up when she's taking a piss? She's my little girl, she's my little guy. When I try to please her, I get poked in the eye, yeah. She wears lace and she wears flannel. She watches football and the Lifetime channel. What's that bulge under her nightie? It's just my hermaphrodite, yeah, hermaphrodite. Oh. Some things are white, some things are black. Some girls wear makeup, mine shaves her back. She is still beautiful, she is still fine. It's too bad her package is bigger than mine, yeah. She looks like Cher, but she's built like Sonny. She loves Brad Pitt and finds the Three Stooges funny. Who's that girl with the grip so mighty? It's just my hermaphrodite, yeah. Hermaphrodite, hermaphrodite, hermaphrodite.
Sirius XM. The Opie and Anthony Show.
All right, we got an update on the couple that were in the movie theater. They had a 4-year-old and a 4-month-old. People have a problem with that right there.
Yeah.
I understand the 4-month-old. I don't understand the 4-year-old being at the movie.
Yeah, that's
myself,
a little much.
Because I know when my kid, especially was first born, he just slept all the fucking time. So we were able to get a few things done while he slept in public.
Yeah.
But whatever, that's my point of view on that. But then this guy jumped off the balcony, left the kid behind because he thought the kid might break his neck or whatever. It felt like he couldn't jump with the kid. He didn't even know where the kid was. He didn't know where his future wife was with the 4-year-old. That couple, we talked about him about an hour ago.
Yeah.
Because there's new listeners all the time. There's another piece of that story. Jimmy.
Yeah. He left. Not only does he, and again, the girlfriend I can understand because I would probably leave a girlfriend in the theater. I would be afraid and leave.
It's more of a girlfriend situation, though. They're technically like a married couple. They're not officially married, but I mean, they got a family together.
He left his 4-year-old and his 4-month-old, and he just ran. He left his fucking children in the theater.
Right.
Now, bringing them to the theater shows you that the judgment on this couple is kind of shitty. He left his children in the theater and ran and jumped out off the balcony and ran out and I guess left the wife or the girlfriend and her 4-year-old and 4-month-old to fend for themselves while a gunman shot. And then he gets in his truck and drives across the fucking... He left! And he said he was going to call 911.
I don't think you need...
And then he got the call.
I don't think...
He left!
What, you're going to be the 200th person to call 911? At that point, you don't need to call 911. Don't worry about it.
Don't
You
worry.
can assume that someone did that already.
I hate this fucking guy.
Hate him. He actually left the theater, got in his truck, and drove?
Yeah. This is why women get kids in custody fights.
I had
That's
slight sympathy for him at first.
Zero.
But now... But
terrible guy.
Yeah.
Fucking. I people are gonna go. You don't know how you'd react. You're right, guys. I don't. But I will hope that if I am fucking pumping out babies, I will at least react by thinking to grab one when I run out of a fucking theater with someone shooting.
Especially a 4-month-old. You could carry that shit like it's a football.
It's a fucking kid. He just thought of himself and fuck her and fuck the family. And then, let me see that picture.
Then he drove across the parking lot.
Which one?
Does he have, this guy has weird shit on his body.
Oh,
man.
Oh, make this picture bigger. Look at this guy. This guy has fucking this weird, it's not acne, it's these weird bumps all over his chest and arms.
Whoa, what the fuck is
like
that?
the Elephant Man.
I think he's wet.
Oh, is that water?
Okay. Zoom in. I mean, zoom.
I thought it was weird skin thing. Okay, maybe you're right. Is that water?
I don't know.
His hair looks wet.
Yeah, he looks
Wait a minute, though.
He looks all wet.
Oh, you're right. Okay,
He's
Sam.
all wet.
I thought there was something wrong with his
He's
body.
dripping.
That's great.
I'm so glad Sam saved me an embarrassing tweet. But that was the gunman we were looking at.
Oh, by the way, the first 911 call, thank you for this info, Stephen Philly, 1.5 minutes. So that guy thinking he's going to call 911 as he's in his truck fleeing the theater.
He actually got into his truck.
He's lying.
And started leaving.
I was trying to help him out a little bit when the show started.
Wow.
I'm out.
He's
I'm so out.
He's terrible.
I mean, I was just thinking about the shock you're in, and I wonder if your whole brain gets rewired when you're in a crazy situation like that.
I mean, even if you do run out.
There's not a parent alive that wouldn't try to save their kid. I understand that.
Yeah, that one. You're wrong. There you go.
Yeah.
That one wouldn't.
Yeah.
There is a parent alive.
Yeah, maybe.
And not even waiting out front. Why did he get in his car and leave? It's like he did everything bad. I went home. I turned on the TV. I watched Seinfeld.
I took a shower.
Yeah. Took a shower. He's
I
a regular...
canceled all our credit cards. What a bum.
Yeah. Was making an office out of the kids' room.
Yeah, she called. He was already repainting. Who's this? Oh, honey. I thought you were massacred with our children.
Oh, my God.
I didn't. You were there. It's funny. When you and the baby were there, I assumed you guys evaporated to safety.
Yes.
When I jumped down, but then I started thinking, Ethan is not going to have a father. But you left him. Oh, no, I know. But that's why I'm saying he wouldn't have a father, because I was gone. I was afraid he was there.
He was probably home on singles.com as she's calling him.
Oh, yeah. Well, you have to move on.
Right. And she took a bullet for the daughter.
What?
She
got shot in the leg
yeah,
or something,
she got shot in the leg.
Whoa, so she takes a bullet as he's driving away.
So she did get shot.
Why did she say yes to marrying this guy? I was telling these guys during the break that women love to store shit. And it comes out at the weirdest times.
This is a huge one.
She's got that stored. And
she's got the hydrogen bomb.
Oh, my. Their first fight, she's going to bring it up. Well, at least I wasn't the one that left the kids behind.
You left us!
Right.
It won't even be that, though. There'll be an argument, and she'll say something like, well, I'm still here. Like, what do you mean by that?
Surprised you haven't left yet.
Nothing.
Yeah. Why don't you just get in your truck and drive across
Yeah,
the
why don't you just go? That's what it'll be. It won't just be you left. It'll be like, yeah, just jump in your truck,
Well, they'll be arguing.
And then if she turns away, she goes, like you did at the theater.
No, it'll be
what?
this. No, it's more like you usually do.
Yeah.
And they'll be arguing. He'll be going, I'm leaving. Well, why should not be any different?
Oh, yes.
But here's the thing I don't get. If the guy comes in on the ground floor, they're in the balcony.
He's in a safe spot, technically.
But how does she get shot up there? Like, where was she?
I'm trying to think.
I
don't think this is a balcony thing. I think, you know how the sides of the theater, you have that entranceway, and it's kind of a little, like, walkway, and then you can almost jump off the side of the theater seats.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Like, there's the rail when you're walking up in the seats. And
like, basically, they might have been sitting over the entrance to the door.
Yeah. Right.
That rail.
And
why are they calling it a balcony? That's stupid.
Well, I'm not sure if
that
that's
changes
the case.
everything.
That makes sense. He probably jumped down and ran to safety, and as she was trying to get out, she got shot. Okay.
Yeah, that's like kind of what I was thinking what
he
it was.
He jumped over the side, it sounds like.
Yeah,
that angle side. That could either be 2 feet or 15.
15 feet, depending on how far up in the theater you are.
Yeah,
wow.
exactly.
What a fucking twat.
That changes everything. I'm thinking it's a balcony. He's in a safe spot, more or less.
Yeah?
But it sounds like no one was really in a safe spot in that theater.
No, that's true, too. But
why are they calling it balcony? I understand now. It's those where the first like 10 rows are almost like regular like seating, and then you got the big rail.
Yeah, the rail, and you got to walk up
and then
the
all those
stairs and
seats
hold
go
the rail
go
and-
up nice, where
Yeah.
no one's head gets in the way.
And then there's kind of a drop off over the railing.
Yeah, that's not a balcony situation.
No.
really. I'm thinking old school balcony.
Yeah, yeah,
Where you get
yeah.
to like
Yeah, what is he fucking
drop soda on the people below.
John
and all
Wilkes
that.
Booth?
Spit and make believe you're coming on the people.
Yeah, exactly.
What?
Throw some Jergens.
I'm the only one that did that. What happened?
Jergens dish soap on people
Yeah,
and
you know.
groan as you do it.
But now we're learning that the guy drove across the parking lot.
I'm reading another
hoping
quote
for the
from him.
best.
Here's how you know where his head is. He says, I'm thinking he's crying and they're going to come get me.
What?
Wait, who's going to come get you?
The shooter.
Wait, he heard the kid crying. He's
saying,
like,
he's saying he's crying and they're going to come get me.
oh, so he thought the crying kid was going to draw the gunman.
He
over
ran
to-
away from his crying baby because he thought that. So this cocksucker thinks that so what does he think, that the gunman's going to shoot him? So he'll save his son
my God.
by leaving the source of the noise. What a piece of shit!
Hawkeye's watching him suffocate a chicken
This shit's
in
gonna
the back of the bus.
this shit's gonna come out. This shit's gonna come out in their next argument. Oh boy, this
It's really hard to
this
find
marriage
stuff.
is doomed.
It's hard to find stuff online because when you Google his name, it's just blog after blog talking about what a coward he
What a
is.
coward.
Oh, they are.
This guy
God, he's
is
getting killed on
fucked.
the internet.
This guy wishes he would have been shot at this
Every
point.
video, every interview of them on YouTube is just filled with comments about what a coward he is.
Oh, that's what nobody else noticed.
No,
This guy
everybody
is
Oh boy,
just the cowardly.
wow, it's hard to defend.
Put him up.
Hard to defend.
What a bag of
defend this.
shit this guy
Bag
is.
of shit. He was in his car. He wasn't even at the theater at that
Oh,
point.
my God.
He went from being in the theater with the gunfire and his children and his fucking girlfriend to driving in his car.
Wait, let's have an open mind, though.
All right.
We've all been at a sporting event. You want to get out of there early.
Probably
I mean,
avoiding the
I'm
rush.
assuming there's a lot of commotion. There's going to be a lot of people trying to get in their
Yeah.
cars and get out of there.
That's
so
true.
He's going for the early exit to avoid the traffic jam.
Maybe he was looking for another theater to watch the movie in. He was getting caught up in it.
Well, it just started 20 minutes ago. I can just figure out the story.
Imagine
Yeah.
if they found him in another theater picking up where
What? What are
that
you doing?
movie left
I'm
off.
going to see the movie. You know, I'm the only one brave enough to go into a theater again. He's just trying to talk about how brave he is. You know, it's dangerous on the streets. I was in a car. What? Without a seatbelt on.
And it's not like he just like went to his car and just like sat in his car and waited.
No.
He drove away.
He could not get further away
Oh.
faster.
All right, and I think we made our point, but this is how this shit will come out. We got Dan in PA. Go ahead, Dan.
Hey, guys. Just to remind me of the story, when I was maybe 17, 18 years old, I'm with my now wife, then girlfriend. We're on the beach. She's laying there. She's got her top undone, laying on her stomach, sunbathing. A gust of wind comes, picks up a beach umbrella, starts rolling it towards us. I look up. My first reaction is I jump the hell out of the way, leave her there. And this is her, luckily. And 10 years from now, still when we're in a fight, she still brings up how I jumped out of the way of the beach umbrella.
Umbrella. Oh, my God, a beach umbrella.
Right, so
Imagine gunfire and
This guy's
kids.
fucked.
Yeah.
I would just go, you know what? Nah, we shouldn't get married. He should cut his losses. It's going to get ugly.
How did she say yes?
Well, she's in shock.
Yeah, you think that's it?
Yeah, of course.
I think that plus it is also the only father of her kids, and it's like she's in a decision right now. Do I end this relationship and be a single mother, or do I just marry this pansy and hope we're never another shooting?
Right.
This video that Sam has up has 423 dislikes. It's just an interview of them.
Oh, shit. And what are the comments?
This one is my favorite. Bitch, please. This fool threw his baby on the floor, ran out of the theater, hopped in his vehicle, started the ignition, and drove away.
Keep going. Meanwhile, a teenage
boy proved himself more of a man than this Roars idiot by taking a bullet while protecting the family that Roars left behind like garbage.
Wow, this guy.
Then the coward Roars just drove around until his girlfriend called his dumbass and let him know what the danger was over. What's disgusting is you defended such repressible conduct.
Wow. Reprehensible.
Yeah.
Is that what I said?
This
Almost
one,
100%.
I'm getting this one into, it says, as he slid down off his chair to hide. His baby's head got caught between the seats in front of him and started crying. Like his baby's head and got stuck in between the seats. This guy is a piece of garbage.
Wow. He just... Wow. I'm surprised he didn't throw the kid to the gunman and go, here's what you're looking for. What a fucking bum. What a bum.
Can you fucking believe that this guy is that cowardly?
And that he's accepting interview requests.
Yeah,
just hide. Hide in shame. What the fuck do you think you're doing?
I'll talk about it again, sure.
Oh, man.
That's funny.
And the girlfriend took a bullet.
Yeah, she took a bullet protecting her daughter.
One YouTube user is asking a good question. This dude drops his baby and leaves his 4-year-old and girlfriend, goes to his car, drives away, and calls her from his cell phone. Did he leave a voicemail? Hey, baby, you shot?
Oh, this guy stinks.
Fucking great.
No, and you know what? Not only did he leave, but he takes the vehicle. So, like, even if they do get out,
what are they going to do? Yeah. They just... He is just an example. When you see, like, there are genuine acts of heroism that happen. Stories coming out of guys that did protect their girlfriends, protected colleagues, and other guys that were, I guess, one of the Navy guys protected another one. And stories like that are amazing. It just shows what people can do under those circumstances as far as, really coming to the table. On the other end of the spectrum, this also shows how fucking people react with utter and complete cowardice and nothing but self-preservation on their minds.
But how dumb is he really?
Human nature.
He's still breathing.
Well, that's debatable. You're absolutely right.
I'm just fucking around.
No, but you're right, because both of them are basic human nature.
Right.
I mean, but what dictates what is what? Like what makes somebody take the bullet for another person, and what makes somebody fucking pass his kid down fucking range and run out and get in a car. He couldn't get far enough away just by leaving.
That's the exact moment when you find out whether a person is wired to be a good person or a bad person.
Right.
That's the difference.
Or a person that could be depended upon, or a person that's just a lump of shit. And meanwhile, if you're just hanging out without any adverse circumstance like this happening, you'd never know. Like this guy might have... to his friends, he's like, hey, it's a great guy, very dependable. Yeah, he drove me to work a few months when I didn't have a car. He was there on time every day. You could really depend on him. And then, when it reaches a point, he is all about himself.
And, of course, the football fans are chiming in on YouTube, too.
Oh.
Typical Broncos fan. Ducks out like a bitch when shit goes sour.
Oh, man.
You guys want to... Okay, go ahead.
Nah, I was just going to say somebody uploaded Jamie Rohr's exclusive footage of him leaving the scene.
Yeah.
And can you guess what?
I bet it's George Costanza when he saw smoke.
That's why I love the internet. I know that there's people just like me.
Yes.
This guy writes, what a fag. He let some kid take a bullet for him and got 2 people killed. He even interviews like some super vag.
Super vag. Yeah, this guy is never, ever going to live this down.
No.
He has to walk around with that fucking shame.
You think he's ashamed, or is he too dumb right now?
No, there's no one that isn't going to know that they fucking...
But I'll tell you right now, he's right in that thing now. Like, it all is so fresh. Like this Joker jerk-off living his fantasies, the Joker.
Yeah.
This hasn't sunk in yet. Even the shooter is still in shock that he did it.
Yeah.
This guy, this fucking Jamie Rohr's guy, is still thinking that his argument is believable and his lie is believable and his bullshit is believable.
Yeah.
Do you guys know YOLO?
Yeah. Yes.
The concept of YOLO, you only live once. This YouTube commenter said Jamie Rohr's pretty much said YOLO to his family and started running.
YOLO!
YOLO!
YOLO! As he's fucking running down the hallway and running to his vehicle.
There's not a single person that isn't just...
Who's supporting this guy? Is anyone supporting this guy? I guess she might have thought, like, God, if I don't fucking say yes to this proposal, he will just fucking Well, he probably wouldn't kill himself.
No,
We've seen his self-preservation.
She doesn't even know what she's doing either. She's in shock as well.
It's the father of kids that are alive. Yeah, it hasn't sunk in.
Yeah, I think when she has time to really think about this, she's going to be bothered big time by this.
She's going to say one day, baby, can I ask you something?
You think it'll be a quiet night, like in bed, and it's like, baby? Yeah.
I told you that.
Can I ask you something? Yeah, sweetie, go ahead. What's up? That day in the theater. Yeah.
Remember that day?
Yeah. Oh my God, baby, it's so good that we're all here and together. I thank God every day. Yeah, me too. But what were you thinking when you left us there?
When you threw the baby between the seats
and its head got stuck.
And amp sprayed.
And the crying child, and you just left us there.
The baby was crying, and that's the noise that made him run away, because he was afraid that crying baby was going to attract he reacted to a crying baby the way I do. He ran.
Let me ask you guys this. I know now in my life I would die for my wife and my son. Who would you die for? If you're in that theater.
You really got to think about, though. Like, you could just say, well, I'd die for that person.
But I think an honest answer would be you wouldn't die for anyone, which would be fair, obviously. How far would you go with your heroism?
That's pretty fucked up. I've had relationships
would you
in the
sacrifice
past.
your own life for a complete stranger?
No way.
Yeah, I would.
I'm not brave enough.
Yeah,
I can only speculate that I would if I had a child, because I know that nature gives us that incredibly strong instinct to protect your own young.
Yeah. I'm here to tell you, that's one realization you do have. You're like, holy fuck, it's like a light bulb. You're like, wait a minute. I know I would die for my kid.
But I don't think, okay, here's what it is. I don't think a lot of people go into a situation of heroics thinking, okay, I'm going to die doing this. I think most of them go into it thinking, wow, that person really needs help. I'm going to help them. I know this is dangerous, but I hope nothing happens. Like, it's not that jump in front of the gun as the bullet's whizzing towards someone thing.
But some of these guys are absolutely wired to the point where they would do that.
It's a helping thing, because there's an instinct for humans to help also. If that instinct is strong, then you help. I think there's still the self-preservation aspect of it, thinking, I hope I'm able to get through this and not get killed. Then there's the complete other end, where you leave your crying child and family, jump in a vehicle, and drive far away.
Yeah, in this case, you got to realize my life is pretty much over.
And I don't think you could...
I got a lot of shit I got to try to do here.
Yeah.
I had a kind of an open mind at the beginning of the show.
Yeah, now it's just... Forget about it.
No, yeah, it's ridiculous.
I think anybody is capable of risking their life for other people in the right situation. I don't think you know if you could or would do it unless that situation presents itself. Like, if you're in that theater, Jimmy, you're saying, I wouldn't do anything. In that situation, you look over, you see somebody that might need help. You might get this just instinctual thing to help somebody, or, I could drag this person a little bit this way to get him out of... And if you're killed doing it, you'd be lauded as a fucking hero.
We're talking about guys that absolutely jumped in front of bullets.
Yeah,
were they complete strangers? Some were girlfriends, right?
Yeah, there were 3 guys that died for their girlfriends.
Yeah,
they were for their girlfriends.
Oh, I wouldn't be one of them.
Well, imagine those girls now with the next boyfriend.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a tough act to follow, huh?
Because having a wife is different than a girlfriend, so I'm thinking back to some of my exes.
You forgot my fucking birthday, huh?
Yeah.
My other boyfriend, let me tell you what he did. What he did for me.
Yeah, exactly.
Roses, huh? That's nice.
Yeah, that's really nice. Did I tell you what my other boyfriend did?
The only reason I'm dating you is because you saved my life and he's no longer on Earth.
Could you drive me to the cemetery so I could, pay tribute to the man that saved my life?
Right.
Do you think the relationship between Jamie Roars and his son is going to be fragmented once he finds out what he did?
Yeah, that's going to be...
There is one person who's on his side on the YouTube comments.
Oh, who's that?
J.R.
Oh, my God.
But they're using good logic. They're saying everyone needs to shut the fuck up. It was fate. If he would have went back or stayed, he could have been dead right now, and his kid would not have a father.
Yeah.
This was fate.
Fate.
Right.
The day fate stepped in.
Yeah.
On the Twilight Zone.
It was not fate. It was feet, and he beat them. This is not a case of me saying a guy should have protected his girl. He left his fucking crying infant in a theater to protect himself. He stinks.
Yeah. They're going to get into a fight one day, and she's going to say, "Why don't you ask your father what he did to you when you were 4 months old?"
Oh, the kid will know. The kid will know.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Especially with the internet. This doesn't go away.
Oh, imagine that.
Daddy, tell me what happened at the movie theater. Yeah.
Well, son.
Mom says you ran out like it was a Bugs Bunny cartoon. Mommy said we were left all alone and you left in the car. How come Mommy got shot while you was driving around listening to the radio? What was you doing while Mommy... How come there was a Negro helping Mommy while you was driving around listening to the radio? Daddy, why didn't you hear me crying while my head was stuck in the movie seat? Why did you put my head in between the chairs? Why did you fall down on me? Daddy, why didn't you want to crush me, but you didn't mind leaving me there crying while the man was shooting bullets? Daddy, who was the boy that helped Mommy?
This one YouTube commenter observes the black dude will end up beating up her pussy one day.
Beating up her pussy someday. Wonderful.
I hope so. But that guy asking her to marry him was his act of heroism because he was so ashamed.
Yes,
he was so ashamed of what he did, and he had to look at her face. And how could he change the moment?
Yes.
He could go, please marry me. Okay. Like, she had probably been saying, when are you going to marry me? She had probably been saying, when will you marry me? When will you marry me? Oh, yo, someday, baby. Yo, someday, baby. You know, that fucking douchebag in a straight fucking hat brim. And that was his way of making a... Basically, what happened was she walked in and caught him with a dick in his mouth.
Yes.
And she goes, what are you doing? And he went, I'm just about to paint the garage like you asked. And he jumped up and grabbed the paint and did the garage.
That's exactly what happened there.
Horribly, horribly ashamed. And he asked her to wipe that, oh my God, you're a pussy look off her face.
Yep. And by the way, if they wouldn't have survived, he would have lied and said that he saw them getting shot.
Absolutely with his lawsuit.
He knew and had to leave because he was just flustered. That is exactly what the fuck happened. I think also, she was in the bathroom right before?
She was probably on her phone mumbling, and he thought he heard coward as she was vomiting.
She was actually naming her lump of shit after him. Oh, God, what a fucking... This guy, he's got to carry this. Yeah, the shame.
He couldn't believe that he did it, and the horror of seeing her there and alive, like the moment was over, and he realized, I left my fucking girl and children. I'm a coward.
Ran away.
How can I make this look off her face?
Drove away.
How can I take the look of what we both know just happened off her face?
That's a great point.
Will you marry me? Immediately changes what her focus is. Oh, yes. But then he forgets that a couple days are going to go by.
You can only ask that once, yeah.
She's stone-facing this motherfucker.
He's just going to keep trying to distract her. Look, flowers.
Yeah.
Look, a puppy.
Yeah.
And she's not avoiding all his feedback and comments on her man.
No way.
And that's going to play in her head,
And
too.
she knows.
Her friends. Imagine her friends on the phones like, oh, this don't work. Right.
I thought we put the new batteries in.
Put new batteries in.
We put the new batteries in.
It's broken.
Hey, I'm on the phone with the girl that has a pussy boyfriend.
Marriage is tough enough, and now you got that to deal with?
Hey, there we go. I'll just talk into it this way.
That's weird. Who knew it worked that way?
All right.
Wow,
I would have karate chopped the guy.
No,
would you?
Whoever. The guy with the gun, I would have fucking spun kicked him.
You would have been scared, no?
I'm not, man. You just got to...
He was shooting.
I would have fucking just ducked down, and when he came by, I just would have jumped up like fucking pow.
You don't get worried?
I don't give a fuck, no. I ain't worried. All my training.
Wow.
Training? What kind of training have you had? All right. Yeah. Training. This fucking Spanish girl, what is her name?
Sofia Vergara.
She's the top paid television actress.
She is beautiful.
Yeah. 19 million this past year?
Yeah.
What was this with endorsements too, or did you do other stuff? Holy shit!
I don't know. I mean, Modern Family is one of the hottest shows on TV, and she is.
Wow, 15 million total.
No,
earnings.
she had 19. That's Eva Longoria, who has 15 million.
That's everything.
Yeah, I know. Sophia.
How
has
about
like
even Short Gloria?
Who's in second place?
She is short.
Eva Longoria is in third. Yeah, she also had the Pepsi deal.
Yeah. Yeah. She's done a few commercials.
She's
I don't know. I don't like that exotic thing. She's not bad. I like, she's not too bad.
Somebody twittered, every time the kid cries now, he jumps out the bedroom window.
Pavlov's pussy. Wow. That's funny.
She has to call him back in the house. He just needs a bottle. Get out of your truck, please, and help me out.
What are you doing? Where are you driving off to? Really? The kid's just fucking tired.
Right. He's teething, all right?
God,
is your leg okay?
He jumps out the window.
He fucking jumped in his truck.
Oh, man.
And drove away.
You think he turned on his favorite radio station?
Dude.
Yeah, let me see you.
He was just
I love this
crying
song.
and screaming. And
there you go. Kim Kardashian is number 2 with 18 million.
Please.
Damn. 18 million for what? Look at her.
Them titties.
Yeah, for them titties,
She's
right?
the hottest.
She's already rich, too. They were already rich.
Boy, anyone can say what they want about her, but she really is hot.
She's beautiful.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah.
Although you probably don't like she's dating Kanye West.
Nah, he's going to tear that pussy up.
Mm-hmm.
She's fucked black guys before, though.
Yeah,
Please.
she
Kanye's
loves
not,
the black dick.
Kanye's not putting it to her like some of the other brothers say.
Loves the black dick.
She just says, welcome home to Black Dick.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's been there.
And then number 5 is Chloe with 11 million.
Wow.
They're just doling millions out to these Kardashians. They're printing money.
Oh, well.
Wow.
You guys, we got to clear the field for Alex Jones. We need to do Alex Jones and paternal shit.
A Jones.
That statue. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Alex Jones next?
Sure.
Yeah, why not?
All right.
Sirius XM. And now, the Opie and Anthony Show.
E-Rock's panicking?
Oh, yeah.
What's going on there, Sam?
I was just sitting in there and I was talking to Roland.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, Eric sees something, I guess, alarming, either on his computer screen or through the window. And he just yells, "Oh, fuck!" And he started hitting
What were you panicking about, E-Rock?
Because the bit was about to run out, and I see Ant get up to go to the bathroom, so I thought I'd have to stretch more, and I didn't have another bit ready, so I just grabbed something and threw it
So
on.
we can talk, E-Rock. You can just put it back on. We'll handle it for 5 minutes.
Okay, and then other times I'd bring you back, and they say, why didn't we stretch? So
He always panics when he has to
either way,
stretch.
I'm wrong.
Yes.
Well, just accept that,
Pre-workout.
and your life will be a lot better.
Yes, and I thought I made the better decision, so.
Better decision to come back, right?
Sure.
Oh, wow. Look at that.
That's a little bit of shore with a fuck you sprinkled
No
on
shit.
top.
How was your weekend, E-Rock?
My weekend was good.
Yeah, what'd you do? Anything fun?
My wife's birthday, took her out shopping.
Anthony, Alex Jones has a very good take on the Batman shooting.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, Alex Jones here with breaking news.
I can't do this today.
Breaking news. Sounds.
How many listeners does this guy have? A lot, right?
Yeah. Infowars.com.
Infowars.
Oh, yeah.
Let me tell you.
Oh, boy.
Here we go. Enjoy the ride, people.
Yeah.
I wish it wasn't the case, but all the earmarks, all the evidence points towards this being a staged event.
All the evidence, all the earmarks.
We're a kooky society. We really are fucking nuts as a whole.
How does it point to this being some kind of a staged event?
Less scary than the randomness of this.
Right.
That it was something planned is for some reason less helpless and frightening feeling.
Oh.
But I think Alex Jones is now just ingrained. He just believes all this stuff because it's
Everything.
his
He's
thing.
got to do it. At any point does he go, and they were told to stand down?
Well, let's.
That guy jumped down. He was told to jump down.
He might use stand down.
Yeah.
He definitely will say conspiracy.
Psyops.
Yeah. He's either going to psyops or black ops. What else
Black
will he
ops,
say?
psyops.
I swear we haven't heard this clip. What else will he say here?
Well, the police were told to stand down and wait because they were there. You're going to tell me that he's going to do a massacre while the police are there and they're not going to get to him?
Yeah,
Someone
yeah.
open that door.
Oh.
Which by nature makes it a conspiracy.
A conspiracy, sure.
all the evidence points towards this being a staged event. The tragic attack at the midnight showing of the new Batman movie, The Dark Knight Rises. You have the United Nations treaty where they only need a few senators who are on the fence to vote for it that Obama says he's going to sign in the next week and a half. We have that treaty in trouble on a razor's edge, and then magically this happens, and within hours, all the major media, the Democrats, they come out and say, the New York Times, Bloomberg, all of them, it's time to restrict guns, and that's what the Unidentification Treaty clearly states, is that it allows registration and then confiscation. That's what Fast and Furious was about. So let me ask you this question. If they would stage Fast and Furious, if they would ship up to 20,000 guns and hand grenades to Mexico, and then the memos came out in CBS News to blame the Second Amendment, would they stage this? There have been many staged events where you get a patsy, drug them up.
Patsy.
Usually it's somebody in a government or university.
Oh,
Thought I had that
Patsy.
word.
Shit.
Patsy would have been a good word to say that he was going to say.
So what's happening here?
Because of some
motherfucker.
treaty, he thinks that there was a treaty going to be signed, so they sent in this guy to do the shooting, so everybody's anti-gun.
Yeah, there's a lot of controversy with this United Nations treaty that's supposed to be signed. It's some type of anti-fucking gun importation and registration. There's a lot of shit on there that a lot of people here don't like. And it is controversial. So he's saying that to soften up the old beaches, you do this, and it brings everybody on the side of the treaty.
It's where you get a patsy, drug them up. Usually it's somebody in a government or university program, like Theodore Kaczynski, who was in MK Ultra, the Unabomber. That's actually L.A. Times, Associated Press, but nobody seems to know it. And then you set them up later down the road.
Right.
And that's exactly what's happening here. With the Loeffner case in Arizona and now this new one in Colorado, they followed the complete M.O., and we're going to go over some of that. But the big telltale sign is not just the treaty coming up in a week and a half, or this being near the Globalist Command Center, the alternate U.S. capital. They're under Denver and then close by in Colorado Springs. The real telltale is that they were ready with the propaganda right on time for this and associated it with the big movie. Now, what you do is you have your black op operator coming in a mask, just like Columbine and other events. They do the killing. Then you either kill or drug a patsy who's waiting with amnesics or other chemicals who will then take the blame. And it's very easy to do this with enough PCP, LSD.
Wait, so he didn't even do it?
So he didn't even do it.
Oh, okay.
He's the
He
patsy.
didn't do it. There was a guy, because he's wearing the mask.
Right.
Now, no one could say what he looked like.
Right.
And there's that guy, and he does the shooting. Then he leaves. He's the black ops guy.
Right.
And goes off in one of these silent helicopters or something.
Right.
And then you dump this motherfucker all drugged up.
After you give him the fucking...
The amnesic.
Yeah, thank you. Amnesic
Amnesic.
pills.
And then you dump him there, and he's the patsy. Like,
Oh my God, what did I do?
Yeah.
Yes, that's what you do. And the guy's mother says you got the right guy, but that's just a mistake.
Well, no, she could be in on it.
Oh, she is. That's right.
Yeah.
She's part of the government patsy
Well, she's
operation.
part of, she's part of the black ops.
Black ops.
Right.
All right.
I'm with him.
I'm with him so far.
here.
I'm kind of in so far.
Kind of what I thought.
I'm kind of in.
Gulf of Tonkin, you think that'll come up?
Let's hope so.
I hope so.
So we've seen this over and over again. Hitler
Lee
attacked
Harvey
us on
Oswald.
military base.
Lee Harvey Oswald. I'm saying it right now. Damn it.
Yeah.
I'm going to say Oswald. He's going to say Oswald.
So we've seen this over and over again. Hitler attacked his own military base at Gleiwitz on the edge of Poland in 1939 to blame Poland for it, dressed up people in Polish outfits from the local concentration camp that they shot up. This is done over and over again. There's been cases where they've had these massacres at schools over in Russia, and then the security services pull out and they kill the patsy and arrest one drugged guy. They have drugs, like in the case of Sirhan, where the LAPD said
What?
with the shooting of RFK that his gun didn't do it, he hadn't shot him, and that it was another caliber from somebody behind him. That's what the coroner said. They have drugs.
Now, is that true, Ant? Because he does say a lot of stuff where now you have to go and research it.
I think it's utter nonsense. Because, so basically, there was all those people in the Ambassador Hotel in the kitchen. They all saw Sirhan do it.
Yes.
But it was a guy behind him.
But it was a patsy, yeah.
A guy behind him.
Yeah.
Sure.
Different caliber.
Meanwhile, the camera's rolling. They didn't catch the assassination, but that's what you would do.
Yep.
Sure.
That's what the coroner said. They have drugs like scopolamine that they've known about for hundreds of years, known as the devil's breath. You've heard of this. Where they blow it on you.
Devil's breath.
If they blow it on you, it will make you for 24 hours. You have total control. You can drive a car, anything. You're not inebriated, except that you have no free will. If they say stick...
That would be the greatest date rape drug ever.
Please. Why isn't this shit out?
You can still fuck and suck and eat an ass.
Can we get that on the black market, please?
Oh, that sounds great.
This guy's I
would love that they could blow it on you.
Yeah.
And you just fucking, you're going about your business, but then you have no free will. Hey, suck my dick. All right. And then you're getting your dick sucked.
Did anyone blow anything on you today? How would you know? How would you know?
You don't know because you lose...
Alex Jones might be right.
Free will.
We might have all got blown today. We don't even know it.
Yeah. Wow.
Blowing on.
Inebriated, except that you have no free will. If they say stick your hand in a blender, you do it. If they say hack your baby up with a hatchet,
see,
they say jump off the stairs and leave your baby behind and your girlfriend and drive away in a car. You do it.
Come on.
If they tell you to be a conspiracy nut on the radio, you do it.
You do it.
You do it.
The suspect is refusing to cooperate before his court appearance.
Because he's a patsy.
Shoot him in the fucking head, please.
Just break his legs. Just break his legs.
Oh, God. All right.
hack your baby up with a hatchet. They do it. They say,
well, she was trying to burn the
cliff.
hotel down.
Yes.
She had to be corrected.
Yes. So one of the hotel monsters blew something in my face, and I chopped him.
You chopped him into little bits, didn't you?
Oh, Alex.
Oh, my God.
Alex.
Oh, boy.
Little Alex.
They do it. They say, jump off a cliff, you do it. This is just some of the old type drugs directly from a plant, directly from a flower that they have. So that's what mind control is. A lot of
mind
this is
control.
classified. And you look at how he supposedly got through a steel reinforced door where they're set into the wall where you can't.
Before he gets to the steel door, we got people going, hey, this drug exists.
Oh, yeah.
Let's go to Justin in Jersey. Justin.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, man.
The only reason I know about this thing is I watched a documentary a couple of years ago about it. I believe it's in Colombia.
Was it on InfoWars?
Documentary.
Yeah, where was it?
Oh, man, this guy is, I think this guy is completely full of shit, man.
Yes, of course he is.
Yeah, this stuff, it's actually pretty dangerous. It's basically made of this seed pod that grows on a tree, and they plant these trees just along the street, man. Anybody can go and pick the stuff off. It's kind of difficult to make, but, there are cases where, gang members will basically they'll hire a prostitute or something. They'll give them some of this drug. They'll walk up to somebody on the street, start talking to them all night, get really close, blow it in their face, and then they go and, wipe out their bank accounts and fucking steal everything out of their apartments and shit. I mean, it's pretty bad. And then when, the person comes out of it later on, they're like, oh, what the fuck just happened? They have no memory of anything.
Well, now I got a text from Dr. Steve.
Dr.
Tumescent. You blow it on someone's tumescent erection. You snort it off their tumescent erection. And if it's going to fall, you put it along the ridge. This way you can tongue the hole while you're snorting it off their tumescent genitals. You got to tongue the pre-cum to keep the drug from getting all over it. You don't have to swallow it. You can always spit it out.
Right.
But you gotta breathe it in. Breathe in spores.
I love the fact that he's listening to this as you do it.
Oh, yeah, of course he is.
Fuck him.
As I talk about him snorting with his mustache, I talk about him snorting this drug off the underside of a cockroach.
What is
Dr. Steve says we use scopolamine, which is the drug,
scopolamine,
every day in the hospital. It is sold to people for seasickness sickness on cruise ships.
So basically, Dramamine made this man do it.
Little Dramamine.
Right. If you blow Dramamine in a guy's face.
Yeah.
Dr. Steve and Alex should do a show together.
Oh, would that be great?
If you blow smoke in this guy's face, yeah, scopolamine helps you from vomiting.
Or where they're set into the wall where you can't get out. Because
Okay, this is the door thing. Let me go back.
Yes, God forbid somebody just left it open.
Yeah, that he went out to make a phone call.
Which we've
or
all
something
done.
and
Every single
left it
one of
open.
us have opened up one of those exit doors and kept
Not
it
exactly
open.
a bank vault.
Pretty easy to do.
this is declassified. And you look at how he supposedly got through a steel reinforced door where they're set into the wall where you can't get out because it closes into the wall. It only opens out. He supposedly kicked this down and they tried to hold it shut, but he got through. That's in the Associated Press.
What is he trying to talk
Who tried
about?
to hold it shut? Who tried to hold it shut?
And why wouldn't you acknowledge that it's very possible just to make sure it doesn't close behind you?
Dude, he has to do a 4-hour show every day.
Idiot.
It's just exhausting.
It really
It's
is.
exhausting.
Yeah, the way he lays it out in that scenario, sure,
Ah.
that sounds impossible to do, but that's not how it went down.
No, it was opened.
Only opens out. He supposedly kicked this down and they tried to hold it shut, but he got through. That's in the Associated Press. Folks, this is totally staged. This is totally staged.
Oh.
And even if he wasn't mind controlled himself directly by government, which I believe the evidence is overwhelming, and most people do as well.
Overwhelming.
You trust your
by the
gut
way.
on this and history. These programs do exist. This has all the earmarks.
Earmarks.
Most people
earmarks.
do as well. I don't know one person.
Well, he's a great carny.
And it's
He's
overwhelming.
an amazing carny. I'll give him that much.
How about it's not overwhelming if there's any doubt?
Overwhelming evidence?
Overwhelming.
And he throws shit out there. That's in the AP. That's in the LA.
Yeah.
And now you have to do all your own research
really?
to see
Is
if
that-
he's even telling the truth.
Hey, where did it say that people tried to hold the door closed?
I never heard that.
I have not. Could you look that up?
Not once
I
did I
haven't
hear
heard that once.
We heard that he made an excuse why he had to get out of the theater, right? They're still going with that?
Oh.
And actually, they saw someone leave that way. So if you're leaving that way and you know you want to come back in, you're going to do something to make sure that door doesn't close behind you.
Yeah.
Period.
And how about the overwhelming evidence that the guy was planning this for months? Of course. And what's the deal with his apartment and the fact that he ordered this stuff and there's a record that for months he was getting on.
That's the patsy.
That's
Is
the
that
patsy
the patsy part?
He's the patsy.
And, even though it's booby trapped, I'm sure, the Black Ops guys got in there to clean up all the shit
Oh, of course.
that would make them look bad.
That's true.
And leave
Okay.
behind only the stuff that would make the patsy look bad.
Wow.
I'm sure he thinks that the reason they took 24 hours before they went into the apartment was that the Black Ops guys
Yeah,
were
of
in
course. Of course. That's what happened.
Yeah.
Even though the news camera was watching them.
But you know what, guys? He says it here. You're all being programmed.
Yeah.
The television itself and these messages and things are programming people, and it's been proven to lead to violence. That's why the copycats, they're stationing police all over the place at these movie theaters in New York and other areas because they think copycats may attack. That's the power of a movie, and that's the power of this guy doing it. They've just got to stage one real event, and it may start a bunch of copycats, and that brings us to this point. Now they talked about this years ago, but now they want TSA-style groping at malls, movie theaters, grocery stores.
No, they don't.
Turning everything into a giant prison.
What?
This report's up at prisonplanet.com. Coming next, TSA.
PrisonPlanet.com, huh?
Well,
Prison Planet.
You got to believe what's on Prison Planet.
You're right. He is a good carny.
He's an amazing carny.
He really is.
He's the best at it.
And he has to do it because he has 4 hours to kill. What's he going to do? Just talk about how sad it was? He has to make it interesting.
This elixir cures diphtheria and baldness. Please buy it.
And it's good for his business. He makes a lot of money off conspiracy shit. So I wonder if you sat down and had a few drinks with this guy, if he would say, yeah, of course I don't believe half this shit. Yeah. Of course I don't.
This report's up at prisonplanet.com. Coming next, TSA at the movie theater, National Association of Theater Owners, reviewing security procedures. The London Telegraph got it right and said basically a death-obsessed culture, not guns, is to blame for Batman shootings. We wrote our own article along those lines. Again, people reported that other men were inside there that looked like police, so that's why they didn't tackle him, because it was the authority figure. He was dressed like the good guys that wear black uniforms and masks, basically dressed up like Bane. Notice Bane basically dresses like our cops, but he's supposedly the bad guy. This is all
I don't think
I don't know what he's
was
talking-
dressed like that.
He is just going
Bane
off.
wasn't dressed like a cop.
I don't sleep so well, Batman. I've got apnea.
It's apnea, man.
There's a crying baby. Quick, stick his head between two chairs and jump down to safety. Leave the baby.
But see, throw stuff out there. It's completely wrong. Bane wasn't dressed like a cop in the movie.
No. He just says
Police,
things.
so that's why they didn't tackle him, because it was the authority figure. He was dressed like the good guys that were...
I think sorry, I keep stopping, but this is what you got to do with Alex Jones. And when we've had him on the phone, this is what we do. And it messes him up. And next thing you know, he goes, I just woke up. Bad phone connection.
I don't know.
He is just hung up on us at times because he panics.
Yeah.
The reason they didn't tackle him was, how are you going to tackle the guy as fucking rounds are coming out?
You're in shock and he's shooting you.
You're right.
You're running.
Right.
It would be very nice if there was this united front where people would know to just rush anyone that's doing that.
Right.
I mean, again, there's that thing where am I going to be the one that gets hit? But
yeah, and beat him to death.
I mean, you get even six people just rushing at him at one time to just fucking pummel him. It would work. But,
sure.
But we don't have that mentality.
Well, your first instinct is to get the fuck out of there. You might be looking around going, well, wait, I got to save this person before I get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Or if you're in an area where you know you're safe for the time being, maybe you're thinking for a split second, can I make a run for this guy?
Yeah, I know you're in shock.
But it's not your first
I know
thought.
that. I know.
It's not your first thought.
No.
Your first thought is to preserve your own fucking life.
Right.
that looked like police, so that's why they didn't tackle him, because it was the authority figure. He was dressed like the good guys that wear black uniforms and masks, basically dressed up like Bane. Notice Bane basically dresses like our cops, but he's supposed to be the bad guy. This is all massive programming. And we cannot let them use this to take our Second Amendment. Kurt Nimmo wrote a great article at Infowars.com showing the statistics that it is one of the rarest ways to die is from a mass shooting. It's almost as rare as shark bites. Shark bites are even more rare. The point is, don't give up your liberties because of this phantom idea. Go watch my review that came out a month ago.
This is just nonsense.
Where I talked about this being false flag against the psyche to create this perception of terrorism being everywhere. And now they've actually ignited this. Again, folks, that's a lot of the points. I covered a lot of it on the radio today. We'll cover it on the nightly news tonight. Please tell me what you think below here on the website and at YouTube. And we'll just continue to collate data, make your own videos, your own articles about angles that you see. The point is, mind control is real. They staged Fast and Furious before. This is perfect timing. We'd be idiots not to look at this as a staged, self-inflicted wound, false flag, inside job.
You know what?
Jesus.
It's
Hold
just
on.
idiocy.
Yeah, all right. So there you go with Alex Jones for you.
Kook.
Are they they're taking away all Penn State football wins from 98 to 2011?
Wow.
They're altering all the old records?
That's just dumb.
That's just dumb.
Paterno no longer winningest coach ever. Oh,
But
boy.
that's, what are you doing?
That's just stupid.
How are you vacating? How are you hurting all of those students that played for him by doing it? Paterno's a piece of garbage.
Right.
And the university is garbage. But how are you taking away all those wins? And altering record? How the fuck are you doing that?
Honestly, that's completely stupid. Not a fan of Paterno, trust me, in the football program, but that's just ridiculous.
What are they? Let's hear this. Are they actually
Penn State banned from
case?
Penn State banned from bowl
Closing, let me
games
say
for 4
that
years.
this case
for 4 years.
involves tragic and tragically unnecessary circumstances.
Oh, boy.
One of the grave dangers stemming from our love of sports is that the sports themselves can become too big to fail, indeed too big to even challenge. The result can be an erosion of academic values that are replaced by the value of hero worship and winning at all costs. All involved in intercollegiate athletics must be watchful that programs and individuals do not overwhelm the values of higher education. In the Penn State case, the results were perverse and unconscionable. No price the NCAA can levy will repair the grievous damage inflicted by Jerry Sandusky on his victims.
Wow.
However, we can make clear that the culture, actions, and inactions that allowed them to be victimized will not be tolerated in collegiate athletics. I'd be happy to take your question.
This guy is fucking.
You
I
know
like
what?
this guy.
After that explanation, I completely agree. Win at all costs, which we've said on this show many times.
Harold Hayes, KDK, Pittsburgh.
So you take all their fucking wins
Paterno
away.
family issued a statement yesterday calling the free report pretty much an indictment, a charging document, not necessarily a verdict. Don't you usually conduct your own investigation, and why did you rely so heavily on the free report?
The free report, as well as the data that came out of the criminal trial, provided extensive information in this case. The report has been accepted by the university itself. It was the result of more than 450 individual interviews, an examination of more than 3 million emails and other documents.
Paterno out. That's it.
More,
Goodbye. Goodbye, old man.
But what they're doing is saving the Penn State University for the future.
Yeah.
This will save Penn State.
Next question.
Yeah, I got a question.
Mark Dennis, CBSSports.com. Does this, as speculated, open up some sort of Pandora's box for future cases, or is this unique in and of itself?
This case is obviously incredibly unprecedented in every aspect of it, as are these actions that we're taking today, and we do not see them as opening Pandora's box at all. This is a very distinct and very unique circumstance.
Mark, Pat 40 from Yahoo Sports. Along those lines, how much communication have you had with Penn State about this, and do you expect them to appeal in any way?
We have informed Penn State of the findings, the adoption of the findings coming from the free report, and also of our penalties.
And the one that cost something, too.
Fucking guys! Consent decree,
you have unconscious.
The university has signed.
All the players could transfer without, penalties. They're going to lose 10 scholarships a year.
Wow.
Yeah, this football program is fucked.
Damn.
For the next 4 years, they lose 10 scholarships a year, and everyone that's in the program could transfer without a penalty.
Wait, what about the
no bowl games, $60 million fine.
These are very, very serious sanctions. We certainly hope, and I know President Ray and the executive committee hope that the fine that's being imposed will allow
Who's going to want to play on that team?
That's what I'm saying. They're severely
killing their
They're severely hurting the football program, but they're not killing it. But it's going to take a long time to come back from this.
They are done.
You're losing scholarships. You got players out there that will never go to Penn State.
Who wants to
in the
play?
Next few years.
First of all, you can't play in bowl games for 4 years.
Right.
You're not going to be able to shine.
Right.
No one's going to want to play on that team. Anybody worth anything is not going to want to go to Penn State.
Easily the next 4 years. So that clears out the entire student body.
Right.
So then they're thinking after 4 years it'll be fresh people.
Right.
And we can maybe start rebuilding from there.
Oh, man.
I don't disagree with taking the wins away now that I think about it. Because, Paterno knew all this shit was going down somewhere in 98, and it was a win-at-all-cost thing.
So what they're doing is they're saying all of your wins are being taken away.
Have been tainted because you knew all this shit was going on.
Taint. Yeah, because perhaps...
I don't disagree with it now that I think about it.
If the controversy would have come out during one of those seasons, perhaps they wouldn't have won because...
They wouldn't have won. They would have had to
shake
up
up everything. Right. So
because then that would have prevented... Because they hid all this info, that kept players coming to the program because they didn't know any better.
Yes.
So in a way,
that's actually a good point.
I understand it.
You know what? That's a fucking good point, man.
Because if Paterno had to blow up the whole program back then because Sandusky, then
they would have lost games.
They would have lost a shitload of games, and players wouldn't have gone there. They wouldn't have had bowl games, all that shit.
This guy Mark Everett, whatever his name is.
I like how he brought up the fact win at all cost mentality.
And collegiate athletics will not be taught because he has a whole fucking league to worry about.
Oh God, yeah.
Supported
not just football, every sport.
Actions that you've heard about
the NCAA, right?
Let's bring in B.J. Schechter.
Hey,
B.J. Schechter, he's a friend of mine.
Oh, a friend? It's not a relative?
That were handed out this
They
month.
They are pretty much killing the program without burying it for the next.
That's going to take a while.
Yeah, thank you.
And I'll tell you what, 4 years, anyone who just joined up for this program is still under those fucking guise of bullshit. Now anybody who comes will know the facts, like for the next, in 4 years.
Right.
But a lot of these guys will absolutely transfer to other schools.
Oh, God, yeah. They all will.
Yeah, and then after 4 years, they're starting from nothing, basically. to try to rebuild the program.
Wow.
Yeah, Penn State football will be nothing
That's
for the next
devastating.
Who knows? I would say 6-7 years easy.
Here, a change of culture. I don't know how. I was trying to count to see how many times I heard the word culture. So this is really far more, or should be far more reaching than just Penn State.
It is, and I think what the NCAA is coming in and trying to say, and you could agree or disagree with, whether they have the authority or whether this is their place necessarily, but what they're saying is, we are going to take a bigger role in not only athletics but integrity, and I think that was the thing that President Emmert tried to make clear, that this was more of a moral and institutional issue rather than
it's going to be fun to watch
Penn
State games.
Beef that I have with
just
all of
sucky
it
ass people.
is
And I think we said this no longer makes Paterno the all-time winning coach, which kills his legacy, obviously.
How do you call it penalizing?
And someone else said that one of their 5-star athletes already backed out before all this came down. Yeah, so
they're all around football, and yes, it happens.
and that's why they took the statue down yesterday, obviously.
They
knew.
Oh,
they knew. And they knew they were killing Paterno's legacy today.
If you look at this case, it's much, much bigger than.
Wow.
Huge.
Well, we got the Paterno supporters. This audio, I guess, is kind of old now that the sanctions are out there. $60 million fine. They lose 10 scholarships a year for the next 4 years. No bowl games. And the athletes that are in place, the football players that are in place, can leave without a penalty.
Yeah.
And that
Which
will
they
happen.
will.
A bunch of those guys who really believe they have a shot at the NFL or whatever, they're going to be like, fuck
leaving.
this. I need another college. I need to appear in bowl games and all that shit.
And I'll tell you why that's good that they did that. Because these poor athletes who went here under the integrity of this great university, it's embarrassing to play for this. Well, everyone's thinking of boy fucking.
Right.
Yeah.
Who's going to fucking watch the game? Everyone with a bunch of boners at the same guy who goes the wrong way with the points. Everyone's got hard-ons. But you can't.
And I bet you a lot of those guys are relieved. They're like, oh, fuck, good. I can leave this place
With
and
no
go somewhere
problem,
else
right.
without a penalty.
Yep.
I bet you they're happy about that. You watch in the coming days, you're going to hear about football players leaving for other programs.
Yeah.
Now. Jeez. They're going to all abandon ship if they can.
What's that? Hey, owe me a kiss. A beer. Owe me a beer.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. Where are the Penn State supporters today?
They know this Louis Freeh, and they're right, by the way. That guy asked a good question. This is an indictment as opposed to a conviction. And he goes, well, and this fucking guy said, well, the university agreed to all of it.
Yeah.
So they know that a longer investigation. Penn State wants this done. We'll take our medicine and fucking whatever.
Yep.
That's much harsher than I expected.
And they're on double secret probation.
Well, they didn't want
Mister.
Dude, they took 13 years of fucking college football wins away from that.
Amazing.
And that was more to just kill Paterno's legacy.
And also to say that
a lot of people feel like he's skated.
Winning at fucking all costs will not be tolerated.
At first I thought it was outrageous, but then when you think about it for a second or two and hear what he had to say, I understand it. I understand it.
And you're right, they do have basketball. And I think
that's why they got everything.
The way they handle this brings all college sports and the integrity of all college sports into light. So it's like, kill this one, and it shows that we don't put stuff
the
above
culture
education.
of winning at all costs, which we all know is happening in collegiate sports.
It's an inside job.
Black ops.
To bring down the colleges.
Black ops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess the audio of Paterno supporters and the statue doesn't mean anything today because it's in.
I want to hear some of the supporters.
Penn State
That's from
fans and
yesterday.
supporters could not hold back their anger and disappointment as they looked through a hole in the fence where the Joe Paterno statue once stood.
I think they did the worst job for a university
Oh, he sounds
and
drunk.
for the city.
Well said.
He's not alive anymore. He can't defend himself. Leave the man alone.
Acting on the orders of University President
dummies.
Rodney Erickson, a crew built a fence around the statue, pried it loose with jackhammers, and towed the 7-foot-tall, 900-pound bronze statue inside Beaver Stadium.
Are you also going to take down the library that he helped donate millions of dollars? I mean, where does it stop?
49 years, and the stadium's here because of him. And if you're going to take down the statue, then take down the stadium.
May as well clean house.
Where?
These dummies. It's amazing how...
Stadium's there because of him. Yeah, so is fucking boy fucking. Because he turned a blind eye.
Because he did do good things, I don't think Paterno overall was a horrible man. I think he just handled this terribly.
Yeah.
But, I mean, even worse than we thought. But you don't take down the fucking library or you don't undo everything good. It's almost like as bad as Hitler was, you don't just not use technology because Nazis came up with certain things.
Tear up the Autobahn.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, boy, is fucking... That family... It is amazing in the course of a couple of months.
Right? Yeah.
Emails will get you.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Trying to be slick, these cocksuckers. The unnamed person. Well, technically, nobody can prove. Yeah, we all know what you're saying.
Yeah, exactly. Those fucking little memos, emails. Watch it.
Fucking killed Paterno again. Good.
I'm just.
I feel bad for people at Penn State, though. Like, you know, it's like they didn't do anything wrong. The students.
Well, that's true.
And even the alumni who have pride in the university. It's like you got to feel shitty for them, too. It's like, I mean, you guys put your hearts into this place and you loved it. And you genuinely had great times there and your life was there.
Yeah.
And then you realized there was all this boy fucking.
Little boy fucking in the showers.
And everyone knew it. Except you.
And no one did anything about it. Yeah, you didn't know about it. I think it is kind of fucked up that some people that had nothing to do with this are going to be penalized, the students and stuff.
And all these people, they won't take the records away from the students, I don't think. I hope not. You can't do that.
No, you can't do that. I mean,
but just the wins, which is... Because individual wins don't really matter when you look back. Like, how many... I mean, I guess it does to the athletes.
Right.
But
what does that do? Taking away these wins.
They're penalizing the university,
and they're penalizing Paterno because a lot of people feel like he skated. So they knew taking away all those wins would make him not the winningest coach anymore.
But I wonder also because
that might settle some people's heads
because he's dead. Literally,
you're kidding.
Throw it all on him, like almost like what was the movie where the fucking. There was a scene in Game of Thrones where there was the guy they were looking for was alive, and they're like, "Where is he?" They were going to kill him, and they point to someone dead and go, "There he is."
Yeah.
Right.
That's what this is in a way. Although Paterno, that email gave them the excuse to do it.
Yeah.
That's a harsh penalty, man.
Big time.
I would have thought that they were just going to throw out all the hats in the gift shop.
All the Penn State hats.
Throw out, there's 65 hats. Throw them out, and Penn State's fighting it. We'll give them 10, but not 65.
We think this is fair.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, that is...
Not unbelievable.
No, it is pretty fucking unbelievable.
Wow.
You think?
That's pretty harsh. I don't think any college has been sanctioned like this in the past. For their fucking boy fucking exploits.
Holy mackerel.
Yeah.
That's a good one. And I think it's pretty amazing, and I don't even give a flying fuck.
That's nice
Imagine
language.
these people. Yes, I know. Imagine these people in Pennsylvania that love Penn State. Oh, man.
Here's more audio from the statue.
The university president called the statue a source of division and an obstacle to healing.
Larry Sandusky is the one that did the actual crime. Joe said he should have done more, but that doesn't mean we should just erase everything good he ever did.
Ted Willis accused the university of giving in to demands.
What you talking about?
I'm disillusioned considering
Willis.
that Mr. Paterno gave his entire life to this university, and now they're having to try to remove all traces of his presence here on campus.
He says, I should have done more, but he's not the only one that's culpable.
Yeah, I know.
Not the only one that's culpable.
No, of course not.
Culpable.
They're going after everybody that was involved.
Yeah. I think this statue coming down, it's just a reminder. Anyone that looks at that statue is like, there's the guy that didn't say shit when he knew somebody was fucking boys in the ass.
They didn't just... here's what they dug him up, and they put on cleats and stepped on his fucking face and kicked him. And they took his family and they go, watch this.
Yeah.
And they kicked him. I'm for it. Good. Fuck him.
I think, you got Sandusky,
Fuck
who's
him.
in prison. But then you got Penn State, which wants to distance itself so much from Sandusky, but it still has to do something to show that it's, it's sorry. So they, dug up Joe, and they just pound the shit out of him. Because he's the face to put on, he's the Penn State face that gets put on this whole thing.
13 years of wins.
What happened to
that guy was in Rutgers? That'd be like fucking 20 wins.
What happened to the guy that was in charge of the university at the time?
They're in big trouble.
Are they?
They should take away anyone who knew, like, you know, like the Curly I hope they're taking away complete pensions and all this stuff.
Union shit they got to deal with then.
Oh,
try to go against the union as far as
I don't know
getting
if the
their
union
pension.
I don't know if the union will fight that. Boy fucking.
Well, I don't know. Those guys should be in big trouble. I mean, it's obvious they really knew and never went to real authorities. No one went to the real authorities.
They're in legal trouble.
And they sit there and go, well, you know, the university's got its own policing and everything, and we took care of it internally. No, you didn't. No university is going to take care of something internally if it's detrimental to them and really have transparency with it. You got to go to an outside agency.
I'd love to know what these emails said that Paterno knew, because I love the way these snakes, these fucking snake cocksuckers, were talking about it like in that way that children talk pig Latin.
Trying to cover it up. It's obviously it was a cover-up.
Well, the person in like technically no one knows what we're saying.
Yeah.
Louis Freak, I'm so glad you don't want Louis Freak investigating your computer, I guess. That's bad news.
You're all learned that today, huh?
When there's boy fucking charges, and that shithead stood out in front of his house. I just want to coach one more game.
Right.
That fucking shithead.
They killed the program today. They really did.
Oh,
it's going to take a while to come back from that.
Fuck them.
God, I wish the brilliant. I retweeted somebody who said that they should have put Joe Paterno's statue in the library to remind all the kids to keep quiet. Whoever tweeted that, I don't know if you stole it or if you. It's goddamn funny, and I'm annoyed. I didn't think that. By the way, that's in that moment. That's why I don't want to watch Louis. That's why I don't want to watch stand-ups. Because when I hear a fucking piece of brilliance like that, I'm like, cocksucker, I stink.
That is a clever fucking line.
I don't want to know how good other people are at being funny. Fuck, that was just a fan that wrote that.
I wrote it. Yeah, that was me.
Oh, that was just a dickhead that wrote that.
Oh,
no. Please, I'm pulling your fucking leg. Don't go shoot me in the asshole and cunt.
Right, Chipper.
It was fun. We were at Aunt's house fucking each other's butt with the guns. Is that illegal?
Oh, Chip. No such thing.
Well,
fucking each other with the guns.
Yeah, fucking each other's butts.
Yeah, butts.
Yeah. Was really, and then we would smell the guns and go, smells like your hiney. And you'd go, it smells like your hiney. And we'd have Tostitos.
They did have Tostitos.
Someone's saying Penn State will argue that kid touching and football are totally different. That's why it'll be reversed.
What? No, it won't be.
No, Penn
State agreed to this.
Right, they're going to keep their fucking mouths shut.
Who said? Is that guy on the phone?
Yeah.
I would love to hear. Maybe he knows something we don't.
Tom in Boston. What's up, Tom?
Hey, you know more than I do about this, Opie. The NCAA is one of the weakest organizations on the planet. And when's the last time they did anything to any college for any wrongdoing?
But like he said, this is so unprecedented that they actually finally stepped up and did the right thing.
I think they're doing this to cover their ass so they'll look good. Penn State will make the argument that kid touching and football wins are unrelated.
I don't know how you even bring that argument up to anybody. I think everyone just goes away and feels like they got something out of this. Penn State certainly could have lost their entire program. They're like, all right, we'll take the fucking hit, considering that there was kid fucking on the campus for the last 12, 14 years, whatever it would be.
Yeah.
So we'll take the 4 years and then we'll rebuild from there. The $60 million is nothing to us. And the money is laughable probably to them. And then the NCAA goes, see, we did something. And everyone goes away kind of happy in a weird way.
And it went all the way up to the president. This wasn't like just the coach. This was like the beloved, powerful, and the fucking university president. I mean, this goes so far. Penn State will not fight this.
No, I think
they're going to take their fucking medicine and shut the fuck up.
And I think they're going to go, you know what? They're relieved that it was only this, believe it or not.
Yeah.
Because the Paterno family fighting it looks fucking bad for the Paterno family. If Penn State tries to fight it, they know how bad it is.
I don't fault his family, though. I mean, I understand why you'd fight. You don't want to believe that shit.
All emotion, yeah.
Right. But, dude, then Penn State will not fight this.
Nah, I don't think so.
Because the NCAA, if they didn't do enough, the way we look at college sports in this country would have been reevaluated. Like, literally, they may have lost so much in TV money, and they may have lost certain privileges that they now have.
Right.
And the NBA or the NFL may have changed the way they do business with colleges. Like, this was going to blow up everybody's fucking spot.
And with the damaged football program, they absolutely lose a lot more than the $60 million they got to pay the NCAA. But
yeah,
but they laugh at that figure, I bet you.
Yeah.
I think the next step is to change the name of the fucking place. I wouldn't want to send my kid to Penn State at this point.
Well, are they still going to play football, just no bowl games?
Yeah, they're going to play. They're going to get. It's just going to be a silly program.
Just shitty players that can't get anywhere else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're going to play.
Sir, are you still there?
Yeah, I agree that this should have been. This is a fantastic punishment. I love it, but I think Penn State has so much to lose, as you all said. I think what they'll do is off some people, off the president, off these people as a appeasement.
Dude, they don't have a choice.
Yeah, I think they got to take it.
We'll see. I hope you're right.
I really think they got to take this one.
They're going to take it.
Yeah,
they have to.
I really think they gotta.
Vacating 13 years. You know how many schools suck that now have a win against Penn State?
Yeah.
And now you're going to have players leaving. I mean, the program's going to be a joke for the next bunch of years. Foreseeable, maybe even. Maybe for the foreseeable
future.
I mean, the penalties are for the next 4 years, but then after that, you got to kind of rebuild from almost nothing.
Yes.
So,
indeed, you do.
And I understand someone on Twitter saying the concept of pretending games had different outcomes is just dumb. But dude, no one's pretending the games had different outcomes. I get that.
In a way, I get that part, but I think it was more to like kind of punish Paterno because they can't really do anything to him.
And it's symbolic. It's symbolic that fucking the legacy of a sports program will not be more important than what they did. And that's why they're taking those wins away. And you know what? 70 years from now, there will still be this block of 13 years of straight losses, and everybody will know it's because of this fucking scandal.
That'll never go away.
They, in a really weird way, put a fucking permanent tattoo on Penn State because scandals go away. Even this one, 25 years from now, will have passed. It'll be a thing in the past that you look at, like Kent State, which, horrible tragedy.
Yeah.
But the school is, this is a fucking permanent whiteout. No school is winless in 13 years. Right?
Yeah.
But this block of fucking L's is a scar that will follow Penn State forever.
And they knew how much that would hurt Paterno's legacy. And
Killed it.
And they're basically saying, man, this guy really did know a lot and really should have done something.
Yeah, this was
way more than what he did.
This was more than Joe Paterno just going, I'm not too sure what we should do. This is him being an active part of the cover.
And they're like, all right, so how do we kind of punish him through this whole thing? The win at all cost.
Yeah, and they could have shut down their football program.
Of course
That's why Penn State will not fight.
Yeah, they'll just shut up. Jeez, man, now you're a parent and you got a kid that's starting to think about college. Like, I would imagine a lot of parents are going to say, not Penn State.
Immediately Penn State. You could fucking probably start a quarterback if you don't know what else playing.
No, I just mean as a regular student even. That seems like it would be a tough place to go in the coming years.
I'm going to go perform at Penn State.
Yeah? Oh, my God.
Sorry, I have to buy some options.
For what?
I have to buy some Apple options.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What are they announcing?
Nothing. It just took a big shit on Friday. It took a big shit today. Apple.
God damn, it's the fucking whole market stinks, right?
So, yeah.
That's the conspiracy.
Of course, I buy Facebook and it drops again at fucking Zuckerberg. I hope his feet get caught in a lawnmower.
Wait, you're back in?
Yeah, but
at what price?
32.
Oh, that's good. What is it at?
27.
Oh my God.
I'm the kiss of death. I'm a mush with stock. But I'm not dropping it again. I'm going to stick with it. If it goes down to 4, I'll drop it.
Yeah, all right. Hey, do we have more audio on that couple? Do we go through that audio from the... Are we moving on from that?
Oh, no. Silvio is mad at me. Let's see. Silvio 415. You're the biggest prick on earth. You look like one, too. Get a life.
For what reason?
Paul, I don't know, on Twitter. I guess he's a big Penn State fan. Paul Stancato, that's what his name is on Twitter. I don't know. He said it to me in a public forum. So,
what happened?
I don't know. I'm going to tweet him back. I guess he doesn't like the fucking...
Nice.
What happened?
Apple 600 calls,
Nice,
August.
No,
that's where I'm in. Fucking A, man. Now I need Apple to just go back up.
But what about...
That's all it's got to do is go back up, and I win. That's it. I'm back in. I better not just take another shit. It happens every time I buy options, though.
Yeah.
I can't just, like, it goes up, and then I punch out. It has to go down, and I got to wait for the fucking shit to come back. You motherfucker. There's no reason that it's down today, though. The whole market's down like 220 points. It opened 200 points down. This is crazy. It's because of Europe. Again, with the euro and Greece and whatnot. So, you know what? Apple's Apple. If it's being dragged down by this fucking European quagmire, people will realize that, it's still the great company, moneymaker that it's been. And then it comes back, and then I punch out. That's how that shit works. Exactly. Right? That's what I say. What are you in?
I'm in Dutch.
You know what? I think...
Oh, you're in trouble?
Yeah.
I think this makes Bobby Bowden the all-time winningest college football coach. Holy fuck.
Who's that?
Who is Bobby Bowden?
No clue.
You have no idea?
No.
That's too bad.
Who is he?
I don't know him either. Bobby Bowden. Oh, I know who he is. He goes boating on the lake.
Oh, boy.
He's mostly known for being the head coach at Florida State.
You said, okay. I know Bowden.
Is it Bowden?
Yeah. That's, no, I don't know.
It might be.
They just have been saying it on.
It might be Bowden because
I'll talk.
I don't know either. I just looked it up.
Oh.
Bobby Bowden is the winningest football coach of all time. I know he was at Florida State from 76 to 2000. He's been gone 2009.
Well, he's coached from 1959 to 2009.
Yeah, but I mean,
that's
he
a
was
long
with Florida
time.
State from 70. Is it 76? I believe 76 to 2009, maybe.
What do you have? Like 8.57 average wins per year?
Just
Something
about.
like that.
Yeah, that's really impressive.
Yeah. It's like a 74.3 winning percentage.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I shouldn't. I don't even need to be in here to talk about sports.
No. This is fucking.
Silent W, or is it Bowden?
I think it's Bowden.
Silent B.
I'm going silent W.
Which one?
Bowden.
It's Abby Bowden.
Oh.
I didn't know that shit. I'll be honest, I had no idea who the second winningest coach was. No idea. You want to hear from the couple?
Yeah. Let's hear some more of this.
Oh, goody.
I love
I'm
these.
obsessed with that.
Love this couple.
I feel like I worse than Paterno today. Is this Zilch?
Yeah. If you're just tuning in, listen to the replay. We did a lot of time on this couple. The guy...
Somebody tweeted Penn State is permanently marked as the douche that left his kid in the theater.
Yeah.
The guy left his kid in the theater.
That's funny.
His two kids, and his girlfriend.
And at one point, he's actually in a car outside the theater by himself.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
Oh, ghost riding the whip.
Yeah, driving away.
Yeah, and people are killing him on the internet. And now we found another interview where he looks horrible.
Yeah,
I heard Jamie yell, "Get down!" and
Get down.
my daughter, she was asleep. She was laying down, and I just grabbed her and threw her. I mean,
on the ground.
Got her and just threw her on the ground.
She threw Azza to the floor, and I ducked with Ethan. And when I ducked, his head fell back because the way I was holding it into the crack in the seats in front of us, and got stuck, and he was crying, and I was like, his head's exposed, he's gonna get shot, and I can't stand up because people were standing up getting shot. So I jumped over, and I was like, I gotta get him, I got it. So I just maneuvered over somehow and grabbed him and crawled towards the stairway, and I'm just thinking, should I play dead? Are they coming up the stairs? How many are there?
That's worry.
So you got the kid out of his head out of the thing.
Yeah.
And then where's the part where you save yourself and leave him?
When does that happen?
Well, Patricia, she now talks about how everyone else helped her except him.
Oh, no.
And there was a point where the gunshots stopped. And I saw people running, and I thought, they're running, he's not shooting, just get up and go. And I just got up, I grabbed my daughter's hand, and we just got out of there as soon as we could.
You ran?
Yeah, I was trying to find Jamie. I didn't have my phone. Thankfully, there were three people, 2 boys and a girl. I wish I would have gotten their name. The female lent me her cell phone so that I could call Jamie, help me with my daughter. You know, I'm thankful for that. Just that there were, people who were willing to help.
People that were willing to help.
Fucking humiliating.
Oh, poor Jamie.
This next clip is my favorite.
Oh, there's more?
Oh, yeah.
Jamie is the worst boyfriend
what a
ever.
hunk of shit.
Well, Jamie now stresses the. Should I say it or
no?
Okay.
Someone said we're misunderstanding things. He was just out in the car getting the air conditioning going.
You know, that's very nice of him.
It
is summer.
It's hot, and after a gunfight,
the country has been suffering from a lot of heat this summer.
Very hot.
We just need to be there for each other and, be kind to each other. People come.
Well, you missed the first line. We need to be there
for each other. How about be there for each other?
Yeah, unless
starting now.
Now.
Yes.
I'm going to be there for you starting. Okay, right now. I'm going to be there.
I promise to love, honor, and cherish you in sickness and in health, just not in movie theaters when somebody's shooting at us. And then I will leave you and the baby with his head stuck in something while he cries and attracts gunfire like a beacon. I will hide and leave you and a young black gentleman to get out of the theater together.
You know what? They are getting married, so those vows, that's hilarious.
Oh, yeah.
I could see the priest
To love, honor, and protect. Well,
we could. I guess we could cross that.
Could I
line.
love and honor?
In this case, I guess we could cross that part.
Yeah, cross protect out.
And then the black dude will stand up, yo, I'll protect her.
Yeah, I'm on the motherfucker.
We just need to be there for each other and, be kind to each other. People come. We rush through life taking everything for granted, money, clothes, and so materialistic, and
just getting so stressed out.
He's diverting.
Your family's your number one priority. It's like I say.
Hey, he says
family's number one priority.
Family's number one priority.
Yeah. Number two.
He's
number
one.
two.
Yeah, Family's number two.
And by the way, you take things for granted. You think about money and clothes. You mean like the matching hat and fucking Broncos jersey you were wearing?
You hate this guy?
I hate
He's
this guy.
Awful.
We all hate
him.
He's the worst person.
Family.
Number one priority. It's like I say, we rush through life. We forget to tell each other we love you.
We rush in life. Yes. We forget to bring our babies. We rush in life.
And we rush out of movie theaters alone.
Yes, we forget to bring our children.
Oh, God.
Get to tell each other we love you, and it's like call your friends, call your family, kiss your son, kiss your daughter, hug them. You never know when it's going to be the last
just
time.
don't save them.
I just remember seeing his head looking up at me, seeing his little eyes, and just crying at me.
And did he say, where you going? Do you remember hearing that?
Yeah.
Hey, Dad, where you going? I'm still here. I remember looking at his head as I stepped on it to get to safety. Oh, fuck yourself.
I think the baby was saying, hey, Dick, my arms and legs don't really work yet. It's up to you.
I remember looking at his little eyes and his little head as a darker hand saved him while I ran to safety and put the radio on.
And no one whines like this during an entire interview. I've seen people get very emotional during interviews, and they kind of calm down a little. They take a breath. He has this phony.
It's a constant.
It's a constant
diversion.
whine diversion. Right. Please feel sorry for me because I know everyone hates me because I'm a piece of shit.
So overwhelmingly, a lot of people have questions. As far as what this guy did that night.
He has an awful story.
Yeah, I know, but why the quote real media? Why aren't they asking him some of this stuff?
Because they like the romance of him getting married more.
Yeah.
But why don't they point out this guy is filled with shame? He's a bum. He's he left his son in there too, right? He didn't grab the infant.
He left all three of them.
Yeah.
He left all
He
three.
didn't grab the baby, he put the baby on the floor.
Look, when the show started, I was trying to have a little bit of an open mind for this guy. I'll be honest, but as the show ends, oh my god,
what a hunk of
Holy
garbage!
Fuck,
left his baby.
Holy fuck! But these, the next reporter that has these guys, they should ask some tough questions.
It should be us.
Have you seen the internet? Everyone is kind of trashing you.
Yeah.
And then maybe he'll enlighten everyone with an answer. I don't know. I doubt it.
Yeah.
I absolutely doubt it.
You see his little eyes and just crying at her. Just being so, like, frustrated about what to do. I don't want him to get hurt. Shut up. It's your little boy. And
well, that was his most honest comment, at least. He said, I was frustrated trying to figure out what to do.
Yes, which way to go, he should have said. I was trying to figure out, now that the beacon is here drawing gunfire, I can make a safe getaway. That's good.
Beacon.
Use the loud kid to fucking draw the gunfire, cocksucker.
I was very confused because I couldn't find my car keys right away.
Yeah, I didn't know that somebody scratched my door. And I have a Broncos hat, and I dropped it, so I stepped on my son's face and legs to get my Broncos hat because it matches.
I was stressed out. I didn't know where I parked in the parking lot. Took me a while to find my car.
Yes.
To put on my favorite radio station.
And I didn't get to see the end of the movie.
And I was hot, so I turned on the AC, and then I waited for the phone to ring.
That's fucking humiliating.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
What a fucking bum this guy is.
Yes.
What a hunk of shit. Wow. You can't, to leave you, and again, wife and girlfriend to me are, maybe some people feel that way, but I can understand that because they're adults. In nature, I don't know if it instills in you the way it does to protect the young. Which, can you imagine leaving your daughter?
I don't. I no.
Like, wouldn't you just lay over her?
Oh,
well,
would
yeah,
you be getting bashed in here?
What? If I left?
Oh, if you did that. Yeah. Your dumb interviews on TV, we'd be in here just bashing you.
Can you imagine just fucking... I mean, you can't imagine leaving...
I don't know how you just...
Well, I imagine you can, actually.
I don't know how you leave.
I got...
I see what you did there.
I'm kidding, Travis. Travis turned me on this one. I hate this guy now.
This guy.
Hate him.
1 week ago... I left that movie theater with 2 bad knees.
Some 18 years ago, I left Dayton, Ohio, with 2 very bad knees.
And a dream to live my life.
And a dream to become a Major League Baseball player.
What happened?
I thank God this dream came true.
I thank God he saved my own life.
He just fucking jumped.
Yeah.
Left his family
Well,
there.
he's going to have to live with that.
Yeah,
that's definitely going to come out.
Does he kill himself someday?
No. I hope not.
I don't know, man.
Someone's saying he's probably going to get so frustrated he shoots up a theater.
Oh, jeez.
Jesus. The circle of life, yes.
All right, I'm out of here.
What's that?
Let's go.
What happened?
Time to go home, believe it or not. Look at that fucking time. We did good.
What happened?
We have 7 minutes. We have 7 minutes of fun left.
No.
Fun and hijinks and shenanigans.
No, the commercials were good.
Jim's right on this one.
We have 7 minutes.
7 minutes of fun remains.
Oh.
No, not for these guys.
We're going satellite rules, not terrestrial rules.
We don't have commercials.
No commercials.
Do we have commercials?
No.
How many reads do we have left?
I'm good.
0.
Oh. We have 7 minutes left.
So we'll go 7 minutes.
Got some good stories left.
We'll go another 7. 6.5 maybe.
And then, of course, the Sam Roberts a post-show extravaganza.
That's right.
That's what I call it.
Oh, you do?
No, I call it the shit show.
Oh.
If you haven't heard.
Oh.
Yeah. I hear, wow, Fezzi was completely going off on the fact that it's guns to blame. And he said the only people that should have guns are the police and the military.
Yeah, Fez is not in your corner.
He's very pro-gun control, pro-gay.
He wants guns completely eliminated.
Yeah, he
from
doesn't want
the public. He doesn't want any citizen ever to be able to own a gun.
He wants it to be like the UK.
What?
But there are criminals that have guns there.
Yes. People get killed there. I don't understand.
Very few guns. Not even the police have guns over there.
Yeah. Well, the bobbies.
Bobbies.
Well, they don't talk about
they have bobby pins.
The amount of people that get killed from knives over there. Knives are very big in England. They kill people with knives and bludgeonings. People are bludgeoned over there. People get bludgeoned with blunt instruments.
Not that many bludgeonings over here.
We don't get as many bludgeonings
well, we got
as
them
you
guns.
think. We got them guns.
Yeah.
You know what it also is? And people say, why is America like this? They put that little list up of homicides per year in various countries, and then the United States has thousands, and it blows everybody away. And it's like, what is it about our culture? We have such an open society. We're very free to express ourselves. We don't have a very, contrary to what we said on this show, literally, we don't have a very nurturing government. We're left to our own devices for the most part. We're abused and assaulted by our government as far as money goes and things like that. But to have an open and free society, you also open yourself up to a lot of people's free will, which some bad things happen.
Yeah, sometimes some things, and it happens with speech all the time. There are these things that are the price you pay for being in a free country.
Yes, and one of those is this, I don't know where the violence comes from. I don't know where this whole fucking, but we're not alone in the world. I mean, if you look at some nations, the violence there is unbelievable.
We're a more violent country. Like, when you look at death penalty, like, I'm for it emotionally, but I've turned against it because I think it's unfair to poor people. I'm against death penalty because I think that poor people get it for the same crimes that rich people wouldn't get it for. So I have a problem with it.
Because their defense is not as good.
They can't afford the same defense. We are, like, the only Saudi Arabia uses it. Like, the countries that use the death penalty, there's not one of them we would consider fun countries.
Nice and fun.
Like, they're
they
shitty.
Also stone people.
Yeah, they're countries that we judge morally. The U.S. is weird. Like, I love this country, but we're not honest about what and who we are.
Yes.
That's what bugs me.
And why can't it just be accepted that for all of our greatness, we do have some foibles?
We're we're violent.
Because all I kept saying when people would mention this whole list of various countries and their death rates, and the Americans' death rate is so high, I'd be like, yeah, but we went to the moon also. So could you fucking list every other country that went to the moon? Oh, that's right, there isn't one. Right. Like it's there's something here with this country. The thing that makes it inherently great also makes these bad things happen.
You open yourself up to certain things in a free society. I understand that. If I would like us so much more if we were just honest about what we are and what we like.
Show?
In our, we already know what the show is.
Yes.
It's mediocre.
Pieces of shit.
Yeah, bordering on hideous. But as a country, we deny that we're violent. We deny that we're sex addicted. We deny all this stuff. It's like, just tell the truth about it. Why do we have to? Because when we lie about it, it's like then we're forced to live with this facade and this veneer, and it's not real.
Do you know how stressful it is to try to hold up a lie for that long?
Of course I do.
Yes, of course you do, Jimmy. It is. You bring up a great point. We're not honest about who we are and what we are as a people, and we like to think we're one thing. And lying about it is just as bad as what we're lying about. I think it's more detrimental. If we were more honest, yes, men, we do love fucking looking at pornography and sex. Right. And when someone's found to have looked at some sex or maybe gotten a hooker in his youth, he all of a sudden isn't fit for public office or anything. It's like, why? You've never done it?
Right. That's the hypocritical way we deny who we are when other people get in trouble. It's why we're obsessed with celebrities getting in trouble.
Yes.
It's why we're obsessed with all this stuff, because it makes us feel better about it. It strengthens the facade for the rest of us.
Yeah.
When you're exposed, my cover is even greater. And it's this ugly fucking thing. And maybe other countries have that. I can only deal with America because I live here. But it's the part of our country, of our makeup as a public, that I despise. And it's why I hate when people think, like, oh, we're being shocking, or we're not. I don't respect these fucking sacred cows or these societal boundaries of what's appropriate language-wise, because I don't buy it.
Yeah,
I don't believe your fucking outrage. If everybody was outraged about black jokes and Asian jokes and rape jokes, regardless of circumstance, regardless of who did them, and regardless of context, I would respect society's decision.
Yeah.
But that's not how it is.
Not the case.
It's fraudulent and arbitrary and attention grabbing.
Yeah.
And we're the same way with fucking everything else. It's just a fraudulent fucking persona we have.
So how do people think that we're going to solve all these problems when no one's even honest about what problems there are and what we are as a country? The whole way this country started with this puritanical bullshit and everything, and right from the start there was debauchery going on. So it's just been this constant bullshitting and dishonesty.
Because we've gotten so obsessed with winning the argument. And I've said this before, but everything we do is jockeying for position in the next debate. Like Carlin had a brilliant bit on, the Constitutioners and the founding forefathers being full of shit.
Yeah.
And they were.
Yes.
They were full of shit.
Yeah.
And somebody pointed out once, and he was right, they were brilliant with constructing a government. Like, they really were. The government we have, if the laws are followed as written, are wonderful.
Right.
But it's the underlying people were frauds. They were slave-owning pigs who wanted it all for themselves.
Well, it was a do as I say, not as I do kind of an atmosphere.
And we're still like that.
Yes.
But this is why other countries don't like us, because we go over there and tell them, do as I say, not as I do.
Yeah.
It's like, at least keep our fucking full of shitness to ourselves.
Full of shitness.
Fucking annoying.
We really are dirt bags.
But when you say this, people are like, love it or leave it, buddy.
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
I do love this country, and I love it enough to criticize it, and I can criticize it, which is the beauty of it.
And being honest about it. I mean, not many people are honest.
Yeah.
Because, people don't want to look at their faults. They don't want to look in a mirror and start fucking picking at yourself and saying what's bad. And as a country, I don't think anybody wants to do that. You want to believe that, hey, what's the company line? We're the greatest nation on the face of the earth. We're a free nation. We have the ability to do this. The American dream is attainable. But, if you really turn inward and look, we are a bunch of just despicable dirtbags lying about who and what we are and where we came from.
We're jerking off obsessively, and we wonder why Tiger Woods fucked another girl.
Right.
Like, I'm not saying you gotta like it, but this fucking, how could they do? I don't know what it is ingrained in our psyche where we need to lie about who we are so much. And I don't mean we should reveal everything, but this fucking underlying nonsense, it drives me crazy.
It really is.
It drives me crazy.
Yeah. It's almost like you can't blame people, though, because, like I said, they don't want to see that. A lot of people wouldn't even recognize it, They wouldn't,
but again, don't be mad at me when I don't respect those fucking phony dotted lines you put up. I don't think I'm a rebel or a maverick. Because it changes every fucking 2 weeks.
You know how fun fucking women are? It's just fun or is.
Yeah.
It's just a fun thing to do. So when Tiger Woods does it and everyone's outraged by it, the guys that are outraged, they love how their dick feels in women. They love it.
Here's what the headline should have read. Tiger Woods has a fun life. That's how the headline should have read.
Yes.
I got to go. I have a doctor's appointment in 20 minutes.
All right. I'm out of here, too. I got things to do. Kenny, I'll be right down. And everybody else, you have yourself a pleasant day.
Or at least a decent day. I don't really care.
Pleasant.
Do you care how their day goes?
No, day goes. All right.
What are you waiting for?
Go, we rock.
All right, you've heard about it. You've waited 4 long hours for it. And now the moment you've waited for rears its ugly nose. Head. After Opie and Anthony Live is coming up next.